for love. Hello and welcome to the United Stand. Huddersfield Town versus Manchester United. Live stream watch along. Fasten your seatbelts. It's all going on. And Watford are the better side. Very good comment there. Watford are currently beating Chelsea 2-1. They're already 2 points ahead of them in the league anyway. And they are beating them 2-1. Looking like they'll get at least a point. My only thing I want to do, because I want to drag it back to Manchester United all the time, is to say this. Conte should replace the O with a U, because he is one. What he did to Mourinho at Stamford Bridge last year was petulant. And oh, what a surprise. He's in his second season, and as I predicted, and as many of you predicted, with European football, look what's happening. He's doing as bad as Mourinho did in his second season. I predicted a month ago that Shakespeare and Conte would be gone by Christmas, and I stand by it. Abramovich will not stand by Conte when he's that embarrassing, but they could still turn it round, and that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about Manchester United versus Watford. The team news should be in now, and in relation to that team news, I'm expecting no Mkhitaryan. Based on what the likes of how Martial gets dropped all the time, even when he plays well, Mkhitaryan should not be in the team, and he isn't in the team, which is fantastic. It's a really good team. I'm excited about this. So we've picked it. This is the team I predicted last night. Back of the net. Oosh! Back of the net. So, De Gea in goal, Valencia, Jones, Smalling, Ashley Young, Ander Herrera, Nemanja Matic, Mata, Lingard, Martial, Lukaku. There can be no complaining. There's always one to complain about. There can be no complaining tonight, this afternoon. That team is the creme de la month, as Del Boy would say. That is spot on. Really spot on. Absolutely ecstatic with that team. It's the best team we can put out at the moment. Obviously, we're still missing the likes of Pogba, Fellaini, whoever. But that team is as good as it gets for me. Romero on the bench, Blind on the bench, Darmian on the bench, Lindelof on the bench, McTominay, Mkhitaryan and Rashford. And to be honest, I would not have dropped Mkhitaryan entirely. I know some people would. I wouldn't have dropped him entirely anyway. I think he's still an option off the bench. He's still one of the best players in Europe on his day. But that team is fantastic. I'm really happy with it. Ashley Young back as a fullback. Obviously Martial starting. Mata and Lingard far more effective. I mean, the reality is, if Mkhitaryan had started today, I was going to say we're down to 10 men already based on his last two performances. So big shout out to Jose Mourinho. He's been very loyal to Mkhitaryan. Very loyal. And I think Mkhitaryan hasn't repaid that loyalty. So yeah, very pleased with it. And I think that is the sort of team that we can go and get a result with. I really do. So hopefully we will get a result with it. I mean, I think we'll win 3-0. I'm actually very confident in relation to that side that we will be good enough to win it as well. So really excited by it, and can't wait for the game to get going ahead. Give us your thoughts on it. But it's a good sign. It's a good sign when you make it. It's very rare that we have a lineup like that. And Watford have just missed the sitter, says Gamer Blamer. But nice as well that my team prediction was 11 out of 11. Don't normally get that. But yeah, very pleased with it. I'm having a little bit of problems with my Skype, which is not good because we normally have Ross on. I'd like to get him on. Kieran Byrne says that Jose was definitely watching the show last night. Well, you never know. You never know, do you? But he is staying in a hotel, and I suppose he's probably quite bored. But that is the team we went with. I think a lot of us wanted that team. I know some people still would like to see Rashford playing with Lukaku as well, but I'm very happy with that. And hopefully I've got Ross with me now. Ross, can you hear me?
How you doing, mate? You alright?
Really good based on that team. I was saying it's very rare that you get a team that, you know, there's always normally one or two spots. That's the life of that's what football's all about. But I'm very happy with that team. It is the team I went for in my lineup, and yeah, very happy with it.
Yeah, I think given the injuries, that's pretty much the most attacking and strongest team we could have put out today. And I'm including Rashford as an injury in that assessment, to be honest. But yeah, I'm really happy with it. And it's really good to see Jesse Lingard play today. I've seen a little bit of stick going his way on Twitter, but you know, I agree with you. If you've put him in your lineup, he should be playing today, especially over Mkhitaryan. And I tell you what, he's going to have to go some today if he wants to play worse than Mkhitaryan's been playing. So I'm happy to see him come in.
Yeah, just on Mkhitaryan there are a lot of people who like Mkhitaryan. I like him as well, but I won't stick by him based on his performances of late. I think the last 2 games it's been like playing with 10 men, and I think Jose Mourinho has been ridiculously loyal to him. I think he could have been dropped. I thought he was very poor against Crystal Palace, which is, I remember speaking to you last, and you said he needs to come off. It's been going on for a while, but Mourinho has stood by him, and he's not produced the goods. So I'm very happy with what Mourinho's done there, because part of me did think he might be stubborn and just keep with him, but we need to win today. Huddersfield is a win game. A draw, and I think there'll be a lot of moaning. You can't draw these sort of games.
Yeah, definitely. I was kind of pleased in a way that he did play that Champions League game, because it kind of felt like his last chance to prove himself, to get a start this weekend. And he not only took it, he washed his hands with it. He's absolutely awful. So yeah, I totally agree with him being dropped. Huddersfield are an interesting one. You're right, they are a win game. They're not a draw game at all, but they're a very difficult game, very difficult. And I think it's going to be one of our most difficult games that we've probably played at home this season, because of the atmosphere that they create and the passion that they're probably going to put into it. Again, I think you tweeted it out. It's their absolute cup final today for them. It's their biggest game of the season, so expect them to be on top form. So I'm pleased that we've gone ultra attacking though. Like, the 2 wing backs are so attacking. It's an attacking team for me, so we still should have enough to destroy them, to be honest.
Yeah, the team news, for anybody who wants to know it, is going along the bottom of the screen now. So De Gea in goal, Valencia, Jones, Smalling, Young. It's an attacking back four, that is, with those fullbacks. Matic and Herrera. Probably, I think, I'll ask Ross about that, but my theory is I think Mata will stay to the right because he works well with Valencia. Martial on the left. I think Lingard will play at 10 instead of Mkhitaryan, who's on the bench. Lukaku up front, so very happy about that. I mean, my ideal would be Mata to play at number 10, but I do actually think he will stick Lingard in the middle, which he has been doing quite a lot.
Yeah, either or, to be honest. I'm not that fussed. I just quite like the personnel. I think they both... I'd like to see him switch it up, to be honest. I think that would be too static. I think Mkhitaryan's been too static at number 10. It'd be nice to see maybe Jesse Lingard start at number 10, but him switch that role with Mata, because they're both very dynamic in their movement. So they're both not going to stick to their position. So hopefully we get a little bit of that, because they're both absolutely experts at creating space. That's the one thing that Jesse Lingard has on his game. He's so good at creating space for other players, even if he's not touching the ball. So hopefully that plays into players like Martial's hand today. This is the first time I've seen Martial play in the United team this season. We're starting the game, we're playing attacking, and the opposition are there for the taking, because normally he never really gets the personnel playing alongside him. So it'll be interesting to watch Martial today as well, because we didn't really see the full Martial against Liverpool at all.
No, I was just thinking about that. I mean, I don't know what your thoughts are, but the contrast really to the Liverpool game and the game today. Definitely Mourinho looking at the result today, looking at the game today and going, right, I'm going to go and win this. Whereas obviously Liverpool, I still stick up for him, to be honest. I still think that the fact, as I just said then, we went into Liverpool game with 10 men, and that obviously affects any game plan that you have. But today we've not got Darmian playing at left back. We've got Ashley Young, which is an attacking move, as you said. Martial starts in a more advanced position. Mkhitaryan take out of the team. Mourinho knows as well as we do. We've spoken about this before, Ross, that maybe last week he looked at it and went, I'd like to win it, but the key thing's not to lose. Today, there's nothing in his mind other than this has to be 3 points. A draw is a loss.
Yeah, definitely. And I back Jose and what he did against Liverpool, and I think it's interesting to see. You can sort of see a relationship now developing between Mourinho and Martial, which is fantastic, and it's what we've all wanted. And I think that has to come from performances like Liverpool, where the team was under the cosh. We were pretty much 10 men, like you said, and Martial dug in. And I think that's the first time he's really shown that he would do that for Mourinho. And I he's been rewarded for doing that this week, because you do the dirty work against the teams that you need to do that against, and you will get your starts against the Huddersfield. So it's good to see that building up. And I still think, even though Rashford went off midweek, I still think Martial is going to start this game regardless anyway. So I'm really pleased about that, and yeah, I think that's just justification for what he did against Liverpool.
Yeah, and just on the point of Martial, I still think there's a bit of a myth floating around the United community with some fans, because I always go on about Martial must start. I think he's our best player. I think I stand by this. I do think that he would start for every other Premier League club. I even think City would start him. Chelsea definitely would, as would Liverpool, as would Arsenal, as would Spurs. Spurs are crying out for a decent wing player, so it baffles me because he's our best flair player. But there was a moment in the game at Anfield last week where Martial tracked back and it would have been a goal, and it really worked back, and I think he was basically a left back in that game. But Martial has started games and played well. I think there's a myth that he's only good off the bench. I remember Moscow away, he was fantastic, and I know it was only Burton, but he played well in that. So big opportunity for Martial, and what not a lot of people will pick up on, and we speak about it on the United Stand a lot about Martial, is when he starts games, it tends to be in games like last week where actually we're not playing expansive football anyway. Today, if he has a bad game today, admittedly I love Martial, I would say he's wasted an opportunity, because today we are going to be playing expansive. We are going to be on the front foot, and I really hope he takes that opportunity.
Yeah, it has been a massive gripe of both of us this season, because it seems to be that every time Pogba got taken off, Martial got put on, and it was like, well, he hasn't got the creative players to feed him like Rashford has always had all season. But regardless of Pogba not playing today, it is an opportunity, and there should be enough creativity with Mata and Lingard, because it wasn't coming from Mkhitaryan. So yeah, big opportunity today to make a bit of a name for himself. And I don't know if you are going to do your betting tips, but for me, I'm going to do a Martial to score today, because I just fancy him today, to be honest. He'll be so up for this game, because he will recognise what opportunity he has today.
Yeah, just for everybody who's watching, Chelsea have equalised. It's 2-2 with Watford. I really hope Watford get something. They do deserve it, and Chelsea don't. But we do like to get 1,000 likes before kickoff, so do hit the like button. It's been a bit of a superstition for us this season, and we've certainly not been beaten this season with all the times we've hit 1,000 likes before kickoff. So be part of that superstition. Do hit 1,000 likes for us before kickoff. Ross, I presume you'll be having your Guinness.
I will be, yeah, but I'll have to go about 15 minutes before kickoff, because I haven't got any in. I'm going to have to run over the shop.
Trust me, you can go early if it means you get the Guinness in. Ross is drinking the Guinness this season, and it's been going very well. But this is a game that Huddersfield, look, they've scored 1 goal in their last 7. They had a good start to the season, but the last few they've lost. They're not scoring goals. We are scoring goals and keeping clean sheets. But as I said last night in the preview, whether you're 6th, 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd or 1st, Huddersfield away is a game you need to win, even if you're just looking to finish 4th. So we've got to win this game today, and whatever the circumstances are, if we don't win, I'll be moaning with everybody else. We've got to win this game today. It is Huddersfield's cup final, though, like you say, Ross. I'm not too sure about the Huddersfield team. I'll check it now, because I know that their best striker's been out for a month. I'll guarantee he's back today. But they're gonna be up for it, and I think ball possession and patience is the key. It's like Chris Smalling said this week. These teams have a cup final against us. They're very tight and compact, but when we get a goal, they come out, and that's when we kill them off.
Yeah, definitely. It is. I think you said the Huddersfield team, and that's what they are. I don't think they have any standout players. I couldn't actually name you a Huddersfield player, which is terrible of me. But that's just what they are. They're a good team. But there's performances today that you say about ball possession. I'm looking at Herrera today for a big performance from me, and it's not just ball possession. I think he's reverted into the Herrera of Louis van Gaal stage recently, because his passing stats are probably very good, but I'm just sick of the sideways passes. I want to see some forward passes today from all of our midfielders, Matic and Herrera. So I'll be looking out for that, because against Liverpool, he really did give the ball away, but there was too many passes that were going backwards towards Valencia, and it was kind of putting us on the back foot all the time, because all momentum's lost with a backwards pass. Sometimes it works, sometimes you keep possession, but a lot of the time it just puts you on the back foot again, and you have to rebuild what you've already tried to build first time around. So looking for a performance from him today.
Yeah, definitely. And just in relation, I was talking about Steve Mooney. He's the player at Huddersfield. He scored 2 goals on the opening day against Crystal Palace. He's been out for a month. He's the one sort of player who can cause us a bit of problems, really. He's 6'3". He's a bit of a handful. He's actually on their bench, so he's not starting. So hopefully we can get away and get this game well and truly wrapped up quite early. But I'm confident. I'm going for 3-0, Ross. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I think that's pretty spot on. Maybe 4-0. Why not? That seems to be the golden score.
Yeah, I hope so. Right, okay. The thing we're doing today is, if I can just find it. I know a lot of people are just talking about this in the comments section, so let me just go through it. I will do it a little bit more in depth when Ross has gone, because I want to maximise his time. But the link in the description is for Fan League, which is, I was talking about this I think yesterday morning on the Mesut Ozil video. It's free to sign up, the link in the video description, and how it works, you can see there, this is free to enter, and there is a prize pot of over £4,000 this week. Basically, if you get 10 scores right, you will win a prize. I think last week it was about £8. 11, it was about 150 quid, 12, about 300 quid, and then 13 was around £3,000. So, free to enter. We've got our own United Stand League, and what you need to do is there'll be 13 fixtures randomly, Championship, few Premier League ones as well. You pick your scores. You don't pick the score like 1-0. You pick like Bristol City and Leeds. Who's going to win? Is it going to be Leeds? Is it going to be a draw? Or is it going to be Bristol City? So, link in the video description to do that. You've got 40 minutes to get signed up and play it. However, the good part of it is, if I take you back, it's on my Connect page. So when you sign up through the link in the video description, you'll automatically go into the United Stand tree there. So we've got 150 players so far. And what you need to do is to join the United Stand League is you go to Connect, and you'll see that the leagues are there. And this is the United Stand League. We've only got 36 people in it at the moment, but there are 150 odd people who've signed up. So you just need to send me a request and I'll add you to the league. And the great thing about the league is that, yes, obviously it's based on the score you get each week, but it averages out. So you could join this week, you can join in a month's time, and you will still go top of the league based on your average score. So the link in the video description is for that. It's free. It's not normally free. We've got an exclusive offer that you can get a couple of free games on this. But like I say, it's a score prediction, not a score prediction, it's a result prediction, win, draw or loss. But as I said, if you get, I got 7 last week without really trying. If you get 10 or more, you're going to win a cash prize. Link in the video description. And like I say, we've got a United Stand League. So if you sign up through the link in the video description, it's on Android or Apple. Make sure you contact us, which will be sent to me as an invite already, or you can just message and we'll get you added to the United Stand League. And it's just another way for us all to play together. So link in the video description. All those games are 3 o'clock kickoffs. United are obviously one of them. I'm going for a United win. I'm going for 3-0, but that's irrelevant to this. You just have to pick a win. So link in the video description. Another little way for you all to have a little bit of fun with the United Stand. But your score prediction for the game, Ross? I've already asked you that.
I'm going to go with... Yeah, I'm going to go 4-0, mate. You've gone with 3, so I'm going to go 4.
Yeah, I think 4's the obvious one, but you know what? I would be happy with 1-0. I would be happy with 1-0. And Chelsea have scored. What a surprise. Yeah, I think Watford should have killed that game off. And actually, I just saw a minute ago that Watford took Deeney off and went defensive. That's just idiotic. That's idiot. That, you know, I quite like Silva at Watford, but that was idiotic tactics by Silva there. You know, you're winning 2-1. Chelsea get a goal with 20 minutes to go, and then you go defensive. Idiot. Idiot, idiot, idiot. I'm fed up with these idiot lower level clubs in Premier League who just shut up shop against big teams in the last 10 minutes. You are inviting it. You may as well pull your pants down and get some lube. It's terrible. 3-0 I'm going, 4-0 Ross is going. We've got to win today. I mean, that's what I was talking about before. We've got to win today. Worst case scenario? No, let's not talk worst case scenario. I don't want to contemplate it because I really do think it's that important. I know it's been a bit of an odd week. I don't know what you think, Ross. It's been a bit of an odd week because we are unbeaten. We've drawn 2 games. We're 2 points off the top. We're 7 points clear of Chelsea, Liverpool and Arsenal, and they're sort of giving us moral lessons. I mean, it's been a bit of a weird week how Mourinho's sort of been attacked. I know he brought a lot of that on himself with silly comments about Paris, but let's not forget about how United fans react because I think they had a right to react to those comments. But the press, the way the press are acting around Mourinho is as if we're like mid-table and struggling.
Yeah, they're always going to do that. They can't wait to jump on the Jose out bandwagon. And as we all know, the media so far at Pep's arse, you wouldn't even believe it. But for me, it's been a week where we all knew we had weaknesses in our starting 11 and our squad, and they become very apparent recently. And for me, this week has taken a turn for the better because it looks like them weaknesses have been spotted, and hopefully, I'm not saying that I want Mkhitaryan out. I think he's a fantastic player, like you said. He's just going through a really bad piece of form. You can't keep playing players in bad form. They need to take some time out, and they need to regenerate their form and their ability, and then come back. So I'm pleased with how the week's gone. To be honest, a win away at Benfica is great. We scraped it. We played crap, but we still won. Today, though, I know what you're saying. Like 1-0's great. I get that, and I'll go along with it. But I kind of want to see a performance again from United because they've really tailed off recently, and I kind of jinxed it a few weeks ago on the United stand. I said there will be an inevitable Lukaku goal drought this season because he always has one. And I hope that doesn't happen now and he needs to get a goal very soon.
I think Lukaku will score today. I mean, you mentioned your tip there. I mean, I think my two tips last night were Lukaku to score and also United to win by 2 or more goals. So 3-0, and I guarantee Lukaku will score in that. So I think the thing about Lukaku, it's a good point, is that he came in for some stick against Liverpool, but for me, and a bit against Benfica, but for me, the thing about Lukaku against Liverpool, the big thing that they were sort of beating him with was, he had the least touches on the pitch. Like, that's his fault. I mean, that, to me, is 100% not his fault. I mean, Lukaku still, in those games, was doing the things we've spoken about, Ross, anyway, about the pushing the defenders back and the hard work. But he's never going to be that one chance, one goal striker. That's not what he is. If you want that sort of striker, then you go and you get an Aguero or something like that. But Aguero can't. No striker in the Premier League really can do what Lukaku does physically, and that's what I love about him. But I'm not critical of Lukaku at the moment. I think he'll score today. He just needs He needs more than one chance in a game.
He did, yeah. For me, I thought Liverpool was his worst performance of the season, though, because even though he pushed the defenders back, his hold-up play was abysmal. And I think that's something he's really worked on coming to United, and his hold-up play generally has been fantastic for us. Against Liverpool, it kind of broke down. And I think that was, like you say, it's because of the lack of chances, because he was trying to almost create a chance for himself every time, and he kind of needs to step back from that and think about the team a little bit more. But he won't have that game today. It's a very different game. He will get chances today because he hasn't really got to hold the ball up because we're going to have the ball all the time. So it's a perfect game for him today. And I'm kind of looking forward to Zlatan coming back, actually. Because there were certain points in that Liverpool game I thought, if we had Zlatan on the bench, it may be a good time to bring him on for Lukaku because it wasn't really working. And I think that will push Lukaku to perform better when he has more competition. Because at the minute, he knows that he's playing 90 minutes of every game, regardless.
Yeah, definitely. I was just going to say something there. It's completely dropped out of my mind. What was I going to say? So, yeah, in relation to Lukaku, yeah, I do think that he will score today. And I do think that, I do agree that he's trying too hard. But it's about service, and it's very hard without a number 10. I have to be fair. I don't think United have really had a number 10 for 4 years. We used to say this about Rooney. It's the most important position on the pitch because it links the midfield to the attack. And if you haven't got that, I mean, funnily enough, I was playing FIFA 18 last night on my career mode, and everything was going through. Granted, it was Griezmann, but everything goes through that number 10. And I was playing Chelsea in a game, and we won 3-0. But Griezmann got 3 assists because he was knocking these balls in for Lukaku to run onto. And I know FIFA 18 isn't real life, it isn't, but the number 10 position is real life, and the number 10 takes the ball off the midfield and feeds the attackers. And for the last 2 games, we haven't had one. So Lukaku's dip in form, for me, has been directly linked to Mkhitaryan.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. And let's not forget, pretty much all of Mkhitaryan's assists are to Lukaku this season, to be honest. So yeah, he has lacked that service. And hopefully someone else can step up. It's not going to be Jesse Lingard. His game movement. So it's going to be the others. It's going to be Mata today, and it's going to be Martial, and it's probably going to be Herrera. They're the guys that need to feed him and feed him well, and not just sloppy balls, but precision.
Yeah, definitely. Lots of people watching. Thanks everyone for watching. We obviously are trying to get 1,000 likes before kickoff because we're superstitious. So do drop that like on the video if you are watching. And also if you're new, subscribe icon in the bottom right hand corner. We know we get a lot of new viewers on 4-2 to Chelsea. Forget it. Why do you come telling me that Chelsea are going to score? Chelsea are going to lose. I hate Chelsea. I can't wait to play them in a couple of weeks. I don't hate Chelsea per se. I just think Conte replaced the O with a U because he is a petulant little. I can't even say it because I've got. No, I'm not going to say it. But yeah, do get involved. Fantastic community on the United Stand. If you're new because you found us on a watch along, we're live every night at 8 o'clock. We've got a Skype show on a Monday night at 8 o'clock where you can call in. Previews, Sunday Night Live at 8 o'clock, loads of stuff going on. Every game we're live an hour before with the team news, right the way through till full time. We've got fan cams coming up later on tonight, so loads getting involved. Get involved with the United Stand, subscribe icon in the bottom right hand corner. And the biggest shout out of all goes to the live comments. They're always part of the show with us and absolutely brilliant as per usual. Geordie Etch, I'll show you that score predictor thing again in a minute. 4-2 to Chelsea, forget it. We close the shop now, Ross, and we focus on our own. We're 7 points ahead of Chelsea anyway. Why are we bothered about Chelsea other than laughing at them?
I know, it is annoying now, you're right, with the Watford defensive thing. And when they come out in the second half, they missed about 5 golden opportunities. They should have absolutely battered Chelsea today. Just goes to show you, though, if you don't take your chances when they come, teams will always come back at you. And especially Chelsea have got a little bit of quality in their team, but I still think their best players playing for us at the minute, which I'm still happy about.
Yeah, well, yeah, Conte will get sacked. I'll take that bet off anybody. By the end of the season, Conte is gone from Chelsea, 100%. Chelsea are in big trouble. I think they'll probably beat us in a couple of weeks because just like Huddersfield, it will be their cup final and Conte will want to beat Mourinho because it's personal. And our record at Chelsea is abysmal, but he won't be there for long. And as long as we can keep 7 points ahead of them, I'll be happy. I'm looking up, I'm not looking down. Which is a good point, Ross, because Man City playing Burnley, they're going to win today. And I think that's I think if we drew at Huddersfield today, we'd all be very frustrated and it would probably, take a shine off the weekend. But if we did draw with Huddersfield today, I guarantee we'll be 4 points off City, which then becomes a problem because it's not one result. We're relying on others. We've got to stay within a result of City, I think.
You know me, mate. I'm forever the optimist, and I'm not going to write Burnley off because I actually, I think they're actually a very good team, and they're obviously going to go there and defend, hit them on the break. But let's not forget, I know Chelsea are poor, but let's not forget Burnley turned Chelsea over in their own backyard. So I have a small piece of hope for them that they can hopefully keep Man City out, because most of the teams that City have been battering have been so poor defensively and made them look better than they are. So I'm hoping that an organised Burnley can, bring them back to reality a little bit.
Yeah, I've been on about this for a long time. I mean, somebody just moaning there saying, Mark, you should manage a Premier League club if your tactics are so good. I totally take that on board, but we are a fan channel and I value fan opinion over anything else. I mean, we're not scripted on here and you're not sat wherever you are around the world watching the United Stand giving your opinion in the live comments. You're not sat there with a runner running into your room going, this is what you need to say, because that's what happens with the ex-pros on Match of the Day and all that lot. Wake-up call. So your opinion is raw and ready and spot on. And all I was moaning about the Chelsea game is Silva took a striker off and brought a midfielder on. I mean, that's always going to invite Chelsea. It's a get out of jail for Chelsea today, but that's not my problem. I'm not a Watford fan. But Ross is right about Burnley. Their away record is fantastic. When Manchester United play Man City, you'll see Mourinho do something. One, to get points for United, but two, to sort of be a big, massive sort of red flag to the rest of the Premier League. This is how you stop City. I don't know about you, Ross, but I'm not falling in love with what City are doing at the moment. Yeah, they're scoring a lot of goals, they're playing really, really well. But it frustrates me because I know the way to stop City. It'd be very boring and you'll probably only get a point. But just a bank of 5, a bank of 4 and one up front who's quick and strong, and just absolutely deprive them of space. Sit on the edge of your box, have your 4 midfielders tight about 10 metres away and one up front who's quick and strong. and let them try and pass their way through it. That is how you beat City. It'll be very, very boring, but I'm frustrated with the likes of Stoke City. I mean, Mark Hughes is a clown anyway, who go to the Etihad and try and play football against Man City. They will absolutely tear your pants down.
Yeah, Jose's excellent at doing that, and I think he did the same thing against Liverpool to a point. It's a red flag to the rest of the Premier League teams. These teams have nothing if you sit back against them. It's when you push forward and create space behind you that they expose that. And it does wind me up. Klopp and Pep have reinvented football. They haven't. Football is about 3 stages: defence, midfield and attack. It's not all about attack. And it looks great. You will batter crap teams. But I think ultimately the reason why Klopp hasn't won a trophy at Liverpool is because when you play the really decent teams in the finals, they can get round your all-attack philosophy because it is flawed. And I think that Pep will find... He found it out last season at Man City. He's having a bit of success early this season. It won't take long before he gets found out. And then when they have a dip in form, I think it will continue, which is why I love Jose's United, because we have so many fail-safes to fall back on. And it is nice if the team's playing crap, if everyone gets injured, we know that we can go to teams and get draws and get lucky wins. And it's a part of football. Fergie did it at United for years. It wasn't all expansive. There was times where you had to dig deep. And like you just said, I don't think these Pep Guardiola teams and the Liverpool teams have that plan B fail-safe. So I was pleased with what we did against Liverpool. And you're right, we'll do exactly the same against City. And we'll probably get the same result.
Yeah, Man City, Manchester United is actually at Old Trafford in December. But these next 3 games in the league for United are what it's all about. We're 2 points off City at the moment. I don't think this is the closest we're going to get to them, but it could be the closest because they could just, the one thing City are doing at the moment is they're in the groove. Everything's going their way. I think they've been lucky this season. It was a red card, Mane for me, but Liverpool were on top. Morata injured in the first half, Chelsea's best player. They go on to win the game in a tight game. Bournemouth away, Mike Dean totally destroyed that game and they got 3 points. So City, and also United are top of the injury league in the Premier League at the moment with 7. City have got 2. So, it's all going for City at the moment, but it won't last forever. The bubble will burst. And when that bubble bursts, United need to be in a result of them. That's what I mean. The bubble bursting doesn't matter if you've got an 8-point gap, and they are capable of pulling away. They've got a very easy October. So we've got to win today. We're going to have to beat Spurs next week, and then Chelsea's going to be a massive game before the next international break. But I believe we can do it. I'm going 3-0. Ross is going for 4-0. And I'm going to give you some time to get some Guinness, Ross. Don't want you to miss out on that. But are you going to come on at half-time?
Yeah, I'll come on at half-time, mate. Yeah, and I'm going to run over Tesco now.
We'll give you 29 minutes. There you go. Bit of exercise for the day.
What you saying? I need it.
No. I was just going to... I actually played... I know you play 5-a-side every week. I played on Thursday. I've got a tournament. And as you know, when you played with me, I was a bit off. But I hit 4 the other night. So... Goldbridge is back on the fitness trail. But at Has90 on Twitter, that's right, isn't it?
That's it, mate.
Okay, all right. Well, speak to you half time, and hopefully you'll be on your second can and have a cigar on, and we'll be on easy street because I want to watch match of the day tonight. But let's see what happens. I'll speak to you half time, pal.
Yeah, half time. Cheers, mate.
See. Follow Ross on Twitter at Hazza with I think it's 2 Z's 90, all one word. So that's great. Thank you very much for Ross popping on. Remember to subscribe if you're new to the United Stand. Fantastic community. You will never regret it. It really is banter and fun and United love all the way. Apart from Andrew Ellis, who, to be fair, is very consistent about his dislike for Jose Mourinho. But he's still a United fan, and it's all about opinion. It's all about opinion. I'm getting my phone's going absolutely crazy for people asking to join the United Stand League on Fan League. So let me just go through this because you haven't got that long to join. It's not the end of the world if you don't sign up today, and I'm going to show you why. But you have still got time to do it. I'm aware of the super chats. I am going to go and read those as well. But we've got half an hour to kick off, so let's do a little bit of, I wouldn't call it admin, but you know what I mean. So, link in the video description for Fan League. How does Fan League work? Well, let me show you. Let me show you how Fan League works. So, through the United Stand, for the next 2 game weeks, you've got 2 free games to play. There's a pot of over £4,000 this week, so it's going up every week. It was 3,500 last week. So, Every week there's about 4 grand to be won. And all you've got to do is there are 13 fixtures picked by Fan League. Some are Premier League, some are Championship. And all you've got to do is go through the list and go with the result that you want to do. Now, as you can see, I've gone Bristol City and Leeds. I've picked 2 results. I've gone for a home win for Bristol or a draw, and I've done it the same with Bolton, QPR and Villa Fulham. You get more than 2 if you're willing to pay 20p for each one. So I've done that on that because I fancied trying to see if I can win this week. It's only got 7 last week. But you can have a free game where you just get 1 pick. You're not picking the score, you're just picking the result. So Bristol to win, a draw or Leeds. 13 games. If you get 10 out of 13, you'll win a prize about tenner. 11 goes up to about 100. 12, I think it's a couple of hundred. And then if you get all 13, you win something like 3 grand. So the link in the video description is how you sign up. If you go through the link in the video description, you come through onto something that's called, I'll show you, onto my tree. It's nothing to do with Fellaini. So I've got 167 people in my tree. What I will do is I will go through and invite you to the United Stand League. It's then up for you, it's up to you then to check your connections and see if you've had the invite, because you'll see there, invitations. I've had an invitation to join Sam Pogba League, or whatever it's called. But that's where you'll find it, in the Connect and in the invitations. At the moment, we've got 36 people in the United Stand League. And every week you will get your scores. But the brilliance of the Fan League is, yeah, it gives you your score for the game week last week. So Reece Cotton got 9 out of the 13. I got 7 out of 13. And then your average is based on that. So somebody could start this week and get 12 out of 13, and even though it's game week 2 as our league, they'll still be top because it's the average score that matters. So it doesn't matter what league you join. Hopefully we'll be running this for a few more weeks and we're doing it all season, but it won't matter when you join. But if you want to get in and have a good chance of winning a bit of money or play in the United Stand League, link in the video description. You've got about 25 minutes because those games are all 3 o'clock kickoffs. Like I say, very easy to do. Very easy to do. All you've got to do is just pick not the result, who's going to win, lose or draw for 13 games. And we'll see who's top of the league tomorrow. So links in the video description for that. Scores. My score prediction for today is 3-0. The team is De Gea, Valencia, Smalling, Jones, Young, Matic, Herrera as a midfield 2, Martial on the left, come on, Lukaku up front, and then Lingard or Mata at 10, and the other will be on the right. I think Lingard will play at 10. I think Mata will be on the right. But remember, Lingard can play on the right, Mata can play on the 10. It's that interchangeability, and I liked it when Mata came centrally against Benfica in the week. I think it works really, really well, and we suddenly took hold of that game. 100% correct that Mkhitaryan's on the bench. I think he did need dropping. The kickoff is in 24 minutes, Luke. Stice and Furious says, can you explain all that again? I had to nip out to pick up my umbrella. Look, links in the video description. Click the link, download the app. I'll get an invitation to invite you to the United Stand League. All you need to do is pick your 13 scores for the week. Results, whether it's home, win or draw. And then if you get 13 out of 13, you've won a couple of grand. If you get 10 out of 13, you're going to win a cash prize as well. Links in the video description for that. We Stand United says, Mark, our attacking substitutions are horrible. Well, Lukaku's, not Lukaku, Rashford's on there. Mkhitaryan's on there. I think most Premier League clubs would be very, very excited if they had Rashford and Mkhitaryan on their bench. Granted, Mkhitaryan's not playing very well at the moment, but hopefully, look, we've all played football, we all watch football, we all know Mkhitaryan's been dreadful, we all know he needed dropping. We don't need to mention it anymore. It's not a witch hunt with Mkhitaryan. He deserved to get dropped. What we now want to see is, when he comes on today, a better Mkhitaryan. It's called the kick up the arse syndrome, and that's what he needs, a big kick up the arse, because we want him to play well. If he kept playing, he'd accept that performance is okay because he's getting picked. I keep looking to my right because we've got another windy day here, and I've got a fence at the back which is half down and it's dangling off, and it's not going to get done now. Hopefully it will survive. We've got 676 likes. Do keep dropping a like. We need 1,000 likes before kickoff. It's Superstition City, and we could hit 143,000 subscribers today. So subscribe to the channel if you're new, and if anybody missed it last night, this is for you. This came through the post yesterday. It's a United Stand silver play button from YouTube for hitting 100,000 subscribers. I did have it on the preview yesterday, but if you didn't watch the preview, I'm going to do it on the next couple of the shows and just show you your award, because if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have it. So that's for all you lot. You're all fantastic. The best award we've had, really, and we've won a few awards, but that's the best award we've ever had because the channel's about you, and without you, we wouldn't get that award. George Kyle is at your fence. He's not here yet, says Sandeep. Yeah, I always like to give a shout out for the mods. We've got Snaps, who's just waiting promotion to be a mod. We've got Mad Marcus, who's going to join me in a minute, and Iris XHD, who's also a mod in waiting. Maybe Marcus has given him the day off because he's the king of the mods. But I haven't seen any of them today. Saturday afternoon, though, you never know. Lots of people saying congratulations on the play button. Look, I genuinely mean it. It's down to you. There's no congratulations from our point of view. It's down to you. Iris XHD says smash that like button. You do. Please do. I want 1,000 likes because I want us to win. We've got to win. This is a massive, massive game. 3 o'clock kickoff in the UK. Never easy. Never easy. Obviously, we cannot promote how you watch it or anything like that because it's not entirely legal. But it's a joke. It's an absolute joke. I mean, we were talking about this a couple of weeks ago and how the Premier League money from TV is spread out fairly, which is a really, really moral thing to do. But it's absolutely immoral and wrong that Manchester United are playing at a ground on a Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock where there are only about 30,000 tickets, of which Manchester United fans will get about 3,000. So that means only 3,000 fans, Manchester United fans in the UK, can legally watch the club they support and love and pump a lot of money into this Saturday afternoon. It's a joke. It needs to stop. They need to do something about this. If you live outside the UK, it's fantastic because you get to watch every United game legally. If you live in the UK and United are playing on a Saturday afternoon like they are today at 3 o'clock in a ground where United fans would do well to get 3,000 tickets, you are up a creek without a paddle, and it's not on. I would happily pay 200 quid a month to Manchester United to be able to watch all their games. And you know, we're living in it's 2017 now. Why is that not viable? I always moan and rant about this, but it's ridiculous. We all want to watch Manchester United. We're all happy to pay to watch Manchester United, but there is no legal way for us to watch Manchester United on a Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock. It is a joke. It really, really is. And it's all about money. It's all about money, but the money would go to United should be battling for their fans for this because it needs to stop. It's a really archaic rule for those who don't understand it. It's a really archaic rule around they don't want televised games at 3 o'clock because they think it will impact on attendances elsewhere. But it's nonsense. If I'm not down the road watching Solihull Moors. I'm not up the road watching Birmingham or Villa because I'm a United fan. And whether I could watch it or not in the olden days, it's like teletext and that. Or radio or something. I'm a United fan. I'm not going to go and watch anybody else play. It's just not going to happen. DJaz says you've got to admire Jose Mourinho's tactics of playing Mata at 10. I'm not convinced that he will play at 10 Mata. I think there'll be some interchanging between him and Lingard, but I'm not convinced that will happen. I'm not bothered about Chelsea, Brandon Johnson. Watford should have won that game. I think that's the frustrating thing. But the reality is Chelsea are 7 points behind us. 7 points after 8 games. That's massive. 9 points off the top. We shouldn't ever see Chelsea, Liverpool or Arsenal again. They're 7 points behind. See you later. See you next August. That's the next time you'll be close to us on points. Right, I'm going to get Mad Marcus on in a minute, but for now, please, my favourite part of the show, like the video. No, I'm only joking. Do like the video. It'd be nice to get 1,000 likes. It's a superstition. Teletext is confusing the young ones, Major Hand says. I was having a chat about it at work the other day. Page 302. We're 130 likes away from a win, says Mladen. It really is that simple. If only. Okay, let me know where you're watching from and we'll start going through all that list because I think it's really important in relation to Manchester United but also the United stand to realise that we are a global club. We do this about 20 minutes before every game on the Watchalong because it just makes everybody appreciate who's here watching the huge demograph of United fans worldwide. And I always find it quite interesting to know that, you know, we've got Sandeep in London, Chad's in London, Maceface is watching from Liverpool, Maximilian Yu is in Sweden, we've got Chad in Michigan, USA, Fionn in Ireland, Limerick for Shores, London, Madrid for Sander, obviously, Jamaica for We Stand United, Bedroom for Kincaid Gaming, Walsall for Pogbrem UFC 6. You see, he's not off down watching Walsall play, is he? Because he's a United fan. Put us on the telly, for God's sake. Dubai for Kayan, Styson Furious is in his grandma's shed. Faroe Islands, Denmark, says Rogvi. Afghanistan, says Hi NBK. Bangladesh, Australia, Somalia, Yorkshire, Pakistan, Bradford, Birmingham, Grants in Aberdeen, Italy, London, Trinidad, South Africa, Australia again, Germany, UK, Wigan, Oklahoma, Rochdale, Pakistan, India, Macedonia, Greece, Lincoln, Jamaica again, Germany again, Brooklyn, New York City, Malta, Amsterdam, Afghanistan, Northern Ireland, Rochdale we've done, Toronto, Poland, Morocco, Boston, Egypt, Cornwall, Fellaini, Sped, Low Grimsby, Singapore. You see, this is what I mean. I do it out of total nosiness, really, but also it just fills me with pride that we have such a global fan base, and it doesn't stop and end with those who are fortunate enough to go to games or live in Manchester. You know, loads of people are touched by this club, and we've got a fantastic support. So if you are new to the United Stand, remember to subscribe, bottom right hand corner. We've got a fantastic community and it's worldwide. And if you want to have your say on the United Stand, remember Monday night at 8 o'clock is our Skype show weekly. We do other ones, but it's always on a Monday at 8 o'clock. Loads of shows, normally live at 8 o'clock every night. Fan cams we will have tonight because Flex is up at the game. We've got an Eric Bailly shirt to give away as well, so don't forget to watch the fan cams tonight. They normally go up all around the same time. Please support the fan cams because the views are quite low at the moment because I know it's quite a new thing. But make sure they're normally only a couple of minutes long. Make sure you come back and watch them. And as a bit of an incentive, we've got an Eric Bailly shirt to give away tonight, signed by Eric Bailly. So it's been a big week for the United Stand. We had Matter on as well. So lots and lots of things going on. But our focus is always how do we get you lot involved in it. And we are 14 minutes away from kickoff. And we're going to hit 1,000 likes because we're only 3 short, which is fantastic. So thanks everybody for that. Jason just said, can you go through the fan league thing again? Well, we've got 13 minutes, so this will kill a minute if I do it. And also, we want to get as many people playing this as possible because it's a good game. Rest in peace, Brucey. So, link in the video description is for Fan League. It's free to enter. It's on Android and on Apple. I'm on Android playing it. And as you can see there, game week 10, you've got 13 games to pick the result from. Not the actual result. You haven't got to pick 1-0, 2-0 or anything like that. 13 games spanning the Premier League and the Championship. You pick win, draw or away win. So Bristol City, Leeds, you go for home win, draw or away win. 13 games to pick from. Go in the link in the video description and you will end up in the United Stand League, which I'll talk about at the moment. £4,000 prize pot, which you haven't got to put anything into because it's free for you through the United Stand for the next 2 weeks. If you get 10 out of 13, you'll get a cash prize. It's normally about a tenner. 11 about 100, 12 about 150, and then 13 is up to 1,000, I think, depending on the prize pot and how many people get it. So the link in the video description is for that, and that's how you play it. However, if you sign up in the link in the video description, you've only got 7 minutes, because it stops at 5 to 3. If you go through the link in the video description, it will add you to my tree, which I have here, and I can go through my tree list, and you can see my list here, and I see it all, and all I need to do, which I'll do later on this evening, is just go through each name and invite you to the United Stand League. All you need to do then is go to Connect, which is this button here. Let me get back. Go to Connect, go to My Leagues, and then you'll have an invitation. So I've been invited to 2 leagues there. You'll have an invite from the United Stand later on. My league, United Stand, you will be in this league. And the brilliance about it is that obviously it shows you your score from every week, but we're interested in the average score. Because obviously if you missed game week 1, you're always going to be behind. But we're gonna do our league by the average score. So it doesn't matter if you missed last week, because if you get 10 this week, you could still be top of the league based on your average score. So, link in the video description, pick your 13 results, and I'll send you your invites later to get in on the United Stand League. And then your result will be in there for about 10 o'clock tonight. So the link in the video description for that. Get involved. Another little bit of fun, and it's free. Okay, that's that. Let's get Mad Marcus on. If he's on, just give us a call, mate, and I'll add you in. That's great. Right, 3-0 was my score prediction for this game. Anybody? And we've hit 1,000 likes, so that means we're going to win this game. But I think we're going to win 3-0 anyway. Can I do the tactics and bring out the markers, please? I don't think I've got anything on my screen. But I can draw things like, what's this going to be? Alright, mate, can you hear me?
All right, yeah. Loud and clear.
Good, good. How you doing?
Yeah, so. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm, a bit on edge about this game, but what are your thoughts?
I am...
You are.
I'm hopeful. What is that you're drawing? I'm looking forward to it, mate. I'm hoping that we put in a better performance than what we did against Benfica. Obviously hoping the performance will be better than the Liverpool game. But yeah, I'm quietly confident and hopeful of a win. That's a nice picture he's drawn on there, isn't it? Comments. Hey, what is that? So let's see.
I'm actually live. What do you want? What do you want? Quick.
Michael Schofield. I am all right, mate. Yeah. Let's not make the show about me. Let's have a good time and enjoy the game.
I don't know what people thought I was drawing, but it was always a plane. It's like the pattern on there. Look.
I didn't. You left me a bit in the lurch there, mate. I didn't think what it could be.
I think people just got rude minds, but my thing's broken now.
What are you trying to draw?
It was meant to be a plane, but it's gone wrong.
Yeah, that's gone totally wrong, mate. You rub it out and start again.
So I've gone back into the match day studio for now. Right, let's have a look. Hopefully,
yeah, I was just saying, Mark. Hopefully, it's a better performance today than what we did against Benfica. I know we got the 3 points, but not a overall fantastic performance. And obviously, the Liverpool performance was a bit of a downer as well.
Yeah, I think the big thing about the Benfica game that was real positive is that we actually won it. I think if we'd drawn that, it would have been, a little bit, negative. I mean, I understand the negativity because the performance against Liverpool, but I think the Benfica thing, yeah, we didn't play well, but we won. And I think momentum and confidence, that's why I don't like the international break. There's many reasons why I don't like it, but one of the big reasons I don't like the international break is because it kills that momentum. And we've had... It's difficult as well because we were doing so well and we've come back from an international break with obviously injuries, big one to Fellaini.
Yeah.
But then we've had 3 away games as well, which is always difficult.
Yeah, it has. And as we all know, we saw with the game against Stoke after the international break, we managed to score a couple of goals. But the performance overall, there was just something missing. It lacked a bit of excitement. And it was the same against Liverpool. So I don't think it's any coincidence that when these breaks come in, we as you say, we lose our momentum. And when they come back from international duty on a Thursday, it's very hard to get like a day's training into them and get them back how they were playing before.
Yeah, I mean, I've always said it that with international breaks, and it's luck of the draw, isn't it? What you want when you come back from an international break is you want a home game against someone like Crystal Palace because you're probably not going to play that well, but you might just get a bit, get back into the groove, win the game, and then start to get that momentum going. Liverpool away, your biggest game of the season after an international break, is always difficult anyway. But then you've not got the momentum. You might have lost some important personnel because Fellaini would have played in that game. And hopefully, in the grand scheme of things, we'll look back on that point and go, what were we moaning about? But today, the only way we're going to be able to look back on that result and say what we're moaning about is if we win today. This game is not a game we can draw.
No, it definitely isn't. And it's been a very long time, a good 3 seasons where we've been saying we haven't actually said that a trip away to the lesser teams is a must-win game. So it's nice that we are putting that pressure on ourselves again, and the pressure is on the team. So hopefully with that pressure they can perform and get the result that's needed. Because obviously I think Man City, is it Burnley this afternoon?
Yeah, they're kicking off at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, Sean Dyche obviously sets his teams out. There is a chance they can get a result. Never say never in football, but I don't hold out much hope. So I think, the 3 points today is a must, an absolute must.
Yeah, and I think we're more than capable of doing it. But as I've said a few times, I was saying it to Ross there, the main thing for me is that we've got to stay within City. And like you, I think 100% City will win this game today. There's no doubt that's going to happen. So we need to be on our mettle and we need to go out and get a result. And hopefully we can do that. What was your score prediction?
Well, people were people were having a laugh and a joke me in the comments earlier because I said 4-0 for Liverpool. But I actually think the lesser teams are a little bit harder to beat because of the way they set out when the big boys come into town. So I'm going to say, Ross has said 4, you said 3, so I'm going to go 2-0. Still there?
I am. I've just got something else playing at the moment. I'm sure we can figure out what it is. So if you can just just interact with the live comments for a minute and I'll be back.
Yeah, no worries. Mate. So let's take some comments then. Desmond Clark says he's watching from Fort Lauderdale in Florida. Chad says, what's the music? Don't know. Adet says we need to beat them convincingly. Anything less is not acceptable. Yeah, I agree with that to a point because the last 2 performances have not been fantastic. Ash Boyo says 2-0. Yeah. Music as talks for fifth song.
I'm back now, it's alright.
Yep. Sandeep says there is some super chats you got to read out.
Oh, I know.
And
it's alright. I don't know what day Sandeep got promoted to being in charge of the United Stand, but some people get really het up about it, and I will never forget to do the super chats. It's a busy show on the Watchalong, but of course it is very appreciated that people want to make a super chat, and I will never not do them. So bear with us.
I think it's just because one person has made like 2 or 3.
Yeah, like I said,
just worried.
Yeah, don't have a cow.
Michael Schofield excited for Lingard. To be honest, hope he turns up. Yeah, that's an interesting thing, Mark. I really didn't think that he would drop Mkhitaryan for this.
You didn't?
No, I didn't. I actually thought he'd keep faith with him.
I'm glad he has, though. I think it was the right thing to do.
Yeah, it is the right thing to do, but I think the more a player plays, the more they grow in confidence. And I think on the back of those last 2 or 3 performances, I think dropping him may, I don't know, it depends how he comes back from it. So that's why I thought he would have kept faith with him, maybe took him off 60, 65 minutes, like normal, and gone from there. But he's dropped him for the whole game. He's on the bench, so hopefully
we're all set up anyway. And I need to sort out the timer. Somebody just said there, it's all go. No, you know what? It's all about. I've got no problem with you saying that. It's all about different management styles, and everyone's going to manage differently. For me, I would do what Mourinho's done. I think he's in that kick up the backside territory now, where he needs. He was just like, it was like playing with 10 men. and
Yes.
I think we needed to do something about it, and especially in a game like this, we can't afford to not go and win this game. So I agree with him being dropped, but there is that other side of the coin as to whether it might have been even better to just play him.
Well, this would be interesting as well to see whether he can come off the bench and make as big an impact on the game as Martial or Rashford do when they rotate. So, this could be something that Mourinho just happens to discover, and maybe he ends up being a bench player for the time being to get his form back.
He could, he could come off the bench today, and people are saying the bench looks weak, but Marcus Rashford is decent off the bench. Mkhitaryan could come off the bench with a kick up the bottom. So yeah, I'm quietly confident that I'm very confident that United will win this game, and hopefully we will do. I'm going 3-0.
Yeah, okay. I mean, you're quite convinced then. I mean, I know Huddersfield, what was it? They scored one goal in the last 6 or 7.
One goal in the last 7. Yeah,
7. Yeah.
I mean, they've got their best striker back, Mooney, but he's on the bench. So let's start it. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah, we're nearing kick-off time. So hopefully we get the 3 point. I mean, would you be too worried about the performance today, or is it just all about the 3 points for you?
Yeah, I'll be. To be honest, I'll be quite surprised if we actually go out and play really, really well. I'd be very impressed if we go out and play really well. I'm more thinking, most important thing, 3 points, and take it to Tottenham next week.
Yeah, okay. I mean, that's to me that's the bigger game out of the two. Looking down the line is the Spurs game over the Chelsea game. They've been turned over a couple of times at home this season, so I don't think United got anything to fear from them. And Mourinho put Conte in his place last season at Old Trafford, so I think we'll definitely go to Chelsea and get a result. I think.
Yeah, the game has kicked off, by the way.
Yep.
For everybody who wants to know, and we'll keep you updated. It's not easy because it's 3 o'clock kickoff in the UK and we don't get it. But there are things you can do to sort of keep up with it, and obviously a lot of you will be, so you're very important in the live comments. Tell us who you think's doing well and everything like that, but we will keep you updated. And United, the first thing we sort of need to figure out is who's playing at number 10, and it looks to me like it is Lingard playing in behind Lukaku.
Yeah, definitely. Which is a shame because I think Mata is probably our best number 10. Yeah, Mata's definitely on the right-hand side here. At the minute, we're just keeping hold of possession. In case anyone's wondering what kit we're playing in the red. And it's gone out for a go kick.
Yeah, indeed. It's Mata's playing on the right, which is what I predicted, didn't I? So I did think that would happen. It's an odd one, but you know what? We're in the midst of a game at the moment, and we do lots of debates and discussions on the United stand, and maybe it's something we can talk about on the Sunday night show tomorrow night. I think Mata would be brilliant at number 10, but it never seems to happen, and it never happened under Moyes, Giggs, or Van Gaal either. So,
oh, hopefully your FIFA career last night. Like I know you got was it Griezmann with the 3 assists for Lukaku?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what was you playing on? Was it semi-pro, wasn't it?
Block yourself.
Anyone would get 3 assists on playing on semi-pro, mate.
I play on world class, as you well know. You'll get blocked. I'm not playing here, so I'll just go block.
Oh, dear. Right, come on, United. Let's get back to the game. So just keeping hold of the ball at the minute. Marcus, you read our comments when you're talking, Major Hahn. Yeah.
Jared Pesserman's made a super chat. He says Martial's wearing the black gloves, so he's going to score today.
It's not that cold out there, surely.
No, it's windy, but it's not cold. Right, what I'm going to do now is Gungshi says Giggs only had 4 games. Well, still 4 games he didn't play Matter as a number 10. That's my point. He's never been played as a number 10. Well, he has. He has, but not with any consistency by any manager that we've had. Let me read these super chats out then that we've had. So Sean Smith I sent another super chat. Please read it. United 4-1. Well, Sean, they'll always get read. Don't worry. Matthew McFadden says, why is Marcus not on the screen? Matthew McFadden says 2-0 or 3-0. Lukaku will score all the goals today. Sean Smith says, I think we're going to slap Huddersfield 4-1 today. I just watched the Chelsea game and United have nothing to worry about when we play them. They are shit. And Matthew McFadden, can't complain with that lineup. Martial starting, Mickey getting time on the bench, Matter as a 10 where he belongs, and Young to whip in the crosses 2-0. Thanks for all those super chats. You can do that through the live chat. You can see the $ sign on there. Thanks for everybody who has contributed. Obviously, Matthew, as I predicted, he is not playing at number 10. He's playing as a right midfielder. Although we could see some interchanging, and hopefully we will.
Yeah, they are. I mean, the players that are out there on the pitch, there is possibility for the interchange. You could even say Martial could come in and play as a number 10 with Lingard going out on the left.
We've had a big super chat here from Minnie Mourner. Thank you very much, Tenor. He says, I said this a few weeks back. Great teams win when playing badly. Time for Manchester United to show how far we've come under Jose. We've not been playing well. Let's get that win 2-1 to us. Yeah, I think that sort of fits in with what I was saying, Marcus. It's for me, it's about getting the win today, not necessarily about how we play. But if we can batter them and get some confidence back, fantastic. If it's about just getting a 1-0 win, I'll take it.
Yeah, definitely. See, to me, I think playing against Huddersfield, there is a golden opportunity here to dominate the game, put in a good performance and get a good result. Because looking at the next set of fixtures, we got is it the Carabao Cup Tuesday or Wednesday?
I think it's Tuesday night against Swansea.
Tuesday, Swansea, yeah, and then a big game at the weekend, and so I think today is a good chance to get a bit of form back in our play and get back to winning ways, hopefully. Major Han and Chad Sproul want to shout out because they don't believe I read the comments while I'm watching. So there you go.
I'm just going to leave you to interact with the live comments for a minute because I'm having a bit of a problem. So I'm still here, but I'm just going to whack it on mute.
Yeah, okay, no worries. So United got the ball on the right-hand side at the minute. Lingard coming in looking for the ball deep. Good ball there from Matic. Over the top for Lukaku. He's on it. First got his shot off. Keeper spilled it and he's got it at the second attempt. Let's take some comments while it's gone out for a throw-in. Nigel Jones, when do you think Zlatan will come back? I think against City in December. Do you know what? I actually think he'll be back in November. Sam X, hopefully United will get our early season momentum back. Exactly what I think. I think this is a great opportunity to get it back here. Another super chat from Sean Smith. Thank you. Would you swap Jose for Griezmann and Diego Simeone? Not for me, but Mark might. Edward Ward. Marcus, where are you from? I'm originally from London, just in case you can't tell by the sound of the accent. Alex Griffiths, when Marcus just said performance, my Google voice search searched the word. Oh, sorry. Mohammed Yusuf, how are you watching the match? Oh, there's a bit of rough and tumble here. Martial's involved here. Lukaku's involved. Let's see what's going on here. Referee's going to try and get this sorted out. I totally missed that thing, so I was reading out your comments. I'm guessing there was a bad tackle somewhere. Obviously, Martial's at the centre of it.
I'm back now.
Yeah, okay. I think it looks like Martial's going to get a stern talking to or a yellow.
I don't think he did anything from what I saw. I think it was a tackle on him that was quite bad.
Kieran Bryan, do I know Cockney slang? Some. Fionn Curtin, North London, no, the East End way.
I think EastEnders. Marcy will get a red card today, says MuXA. How do you think we're doing anyway? We're not even 10 minutes in yet. These sort of games, for anybody who's got any experience in the Premier League, which I'm sure many of you have, early sort of start to the season, promotion team at home against a big club like United, they'll come out absolutely banging for it. So, but as Ross said in the the hour before kick-off, Huddersfield don't have any players to worry us. But imagine this was an FA Cup game. Oh, that's late. You've got to. This is the sort of thing the referee's got to grab hold of. It's like they're over eager. That should be straight into the book. Yes, well done, Lee Mason. Yellow card. It's late. Lingard's running down the wing. The ball is not past him, and it's a late tackle. It's a yellow card. 100%. Good one. And you see, the thing I would say about Lingard is I know he gets a lot of criticism, and I'm not Lingard's biggest fan by any means, but this is when Lingard, as a squad player, is very important. He can't always just play the last 20 minutes. Sometimes you need to use him because other players are suffering injuries or a lack of form, and it's so Lingard's very important as a squad player, and a lot of people saying there's going to be a red card in this game. Exactly what I wouldn't predict a red card, but I would predict that it's going to be very physical. I mean, the Huddersfield manager more or less said that himself. It's important for United that we get ahead in this game as soon as possible.
It is. I think I agree with a couple of comments that are going through at the minute, saying that someone's going to get sent off. It started off a very feisty game. Obviously Huddersfield, they've come out, they mean business, they're getting some really rough tackles in early.
But you know what? It's not that, it's alright when you're winning 4-0 and everything like that, and we're all going, we're a beast of a team, we're going to bully people for results. Well, today is exactly where we need to prove that we're going to go and bully teams and get results, because Huddersfield will try and bully us, no doubt about it. But this is, I know unfortunately there is a bit of a difference that we do not have Fellaini and Pogba today, who are very, very big players for us. We've got no Bay as well, so we are missing a few of the bullies, but we've still got Lukaku, we've still got Matic, and they're important. I mean, you can't really call Lingard a bully, or Martial, or Mata, or Herrera. So we are missing a few of the bullies, and maybe that's where Huddersfield are thinking they can physically get at us. But still got a few. Valencia, Lukaku is the beast. But it's a bit of a scrappy sort of physical first 10 minutes. But games can be won and lost in those first 10 minutes. So we need to just stick with them, keep as it is.
It's almost as if they're trying to lay down an early intimidation marker to us, but I don't think they realise who they're playing against yet. We're Manchester United. We don't get intimidated.
They're like Scrappy Doo at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah. You think you're going to intimidate us? I don't think so.
No. You just got to, as I said, any 3 points today will be good. Will be a good 3 points, and if we win this 1-0 and we play awful, you won't get me ranting at the end, because realistically, and I wouldn't have, if at Anfield last week we'd have won it 1-0, I wouldn't have been ranting like I did at the end, because if you get 3 points out of a game, you get 3 points out of a game, and we've won games really well already this season, so there should never be any moaning about we haven't played good football or won. There's another potential foul there, and
there's a few feisty tackles going. I never expected the game to be like this.
Yeah.
It's a shame, actually, because the way the game started out on the tackles that are flying in, maybe Fellaini could have been...
Fellaini would have been perfect for this sort of game.
Yeah.
As would Pogba, this is the sort of game that Fellaini's made for, to be honest. And I was talking about it in the week, obviously with that Mkhitaryan problem, Fellaini was a number 10 at Everton. I don't know why. I would have, if Fellaini had been fit today, I think Fellaini would have been perfect in the Lingard position and still play Herrera and Matic.
Oh yeah, most definitely, yeah. Like as you just said, this game is perfect for him. I think the more physical the game, the better Fellaini could be. But he always does have that tendency, doesn't he, to get a card.
United, it's a very open game as well, very fast. United need to be careful because this is the sort of game where if you go 1-0 down, Huddersfield's left effort levels will just go up another level. They'll be absolutely buzzing on adrenaline, and we don't want that. So United actually just had a really good opportunity. Lukaku linked up well with Lingard. Martial was in, and Lingard's pass was really poor. But this Huddersfield team haven't scored. Well, they've scored 1 in 7. So we've got to be, just get our heads down. To be honest, if I was Mourinho, I'd be going mad at the moment, just saying, "Whoa, stop trying to win the game in the first 20 minutes."
Yeah, calm it down. It's a 90-minute game. As long as we're still in the game at half time, there's always a chance, which I thoroughly expect us to be. I would say we should be in front by half time, surely. Just weather the storm, first 15, 20 minutes, and just go from there.
Can anybody confirm whether Martial got a yellow card?
I think he did get a yellow card.
Because he's just done a foul, and he needs to be a bit careful. I mean, that would be the nightmare for all United Martial lovers, is that it's a physical game, and I think he's probably got one bad foul in him and he's off. They are diving, Kwame says. Martial has to be careful, says Kato, so he obviously did get a yellow card. David Baratheon says Martial needs to calm down. Well, this is where, for me, Mourinho gets it wrong with the captain, Marcus, because his captain choices are obviously Valencia, but Valencia can't even speak bloody English. Now, if Roy Keane was captain or somebody like that, they'd go over to Martial right now and say, "Calm the F down. You are going to get sent off. Calm yourself down for 10 minutes because we need you on the pitch. You're a match winner. Don't go and fall into their trap because they're going to get you sent off." So, Ashley Young, he's right behind him, senior pro. He needs to be somebody needs to have a word with Martial because it's if we lose him, he'll get a lot of stick from United fans because this is a game we've got to win.
Yeah, see, I would say Matic being in the midfield would probably be the most vocal out of the ones there in the team. But it's Valencia's job as captain to get them together and tell them to calm down, stop going in. I'd expect, the way this game has started, this is what I was expecting from the Liverpool game, not from Huddersfield, not at all. So, that sprung a surprise. So I'd be interested to see how Jose is going to try and cope with this now. I don't think Mourinho would have turned around and said to his players, like before the game, well, Huddersfield are going to come out fighting and biting. Don't think that at all.
No. Well, it's just typical, isn't it? We need our captain to go and have a word with Martial. Unfortunately, it's not going to be a word in English because he can't bloody speak it. But such is life. Jared Pessimal, Martial is losing his head. He's on a yellow, and it's the last. I agree. We've got to be a bit careful. But United having a bit of possession now, and this is what I was saying, Marcus, and everybody at home is, look, we don't need, if this was Liverpool, fine, it's 100 mile an hour, and it's going to be that sort of game. But this is Huddersfield. We're infinitely better than them on paper, and I know games aren't won on paper, but it's not won in the first 20 minutes either. Let Huddersfield come at us. Let's just, be a little bit calmer. Let them do the fouls.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine their I don't think their defence is that quick, and I'm pretty sure Lukaku can handle.
This linesman's a joke. He gave a foul about 5 minutes ago for a little push on Lukaku. Lingard's being kicked to crap, and then he's given another. Oh, get out! The linesman's an absolute disgrace out there. Lingard got pushed to the floor, kicked to the floor, then he's got the ball stuck between his feet, and then he gives a flag for a foul against them for some reason.
Yeah, Lee Mason.
Talk about a home banker. Ridiculous. That annoys me. That does. Just absolute biased bull referee, linesman.
Yeah, see, Lee Mason's got a. It is Lee Mason, the ref today, isn't it?
Yeah, well, that was the linesman who did that, but
So he's got to get things calmed down here and got to try and keep control of the game, because some of these tackles, they are risky, very risky.
Some good news coming in. Bournemouth are beating Stoke. Good. Nothing to make me happier than Mark Hughes getting the sack. And people can say, "Oh, he used to play for United." He don't like United.
Nah.
The only thing he likes about United. Oh, Martial's just sent their right back to wherever he's from. Oh, cross came. It was brilliant by Martial. Mata shoots wide. Oh, it's Herrera who shot wide actually, but hopefully they'll show you this skill by Martial. Oh, no, it wasn't Martial. It was Ashley Young.
Yeah, there's definitely getting some. I mean, Lingard there he's getting the raw end of the stick at the minute from the linesmen, and I don't think United are getting any of the decisions go their way.
No, but it would. To be fair, this is the biggest game Huddersfield have played in years, isn't it?
Oh yes, yeah. So it's understandable they'd be up for it, but I honestly didn't expect them to come out like this, not at all.
To be fair, the last few minutes, the people who are worried, United have just started to get hold of the ball, and that is how they win this game. You don't win it's like arguing with an idiot. If you go down to their level, you're going to lose because they're used to arguing like an idiot. United having a scrap with Huddersfield, it just levels it up. There's no need.
There isn't.
You've got to beat them with the quality that we've got, and we are better than them. So just keep hold of the ball, and if we've got loads of the ball, they will get tired and give fouls away. So United actually in the last 2 or 3 minutes have been much better in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean don't fall, as you said earlier, don't fall into their trap. If we just concentrate on playing our game, our quality will shine through in the end. We've got too many good players in this team to not get a result at Huddersfield Town.
We've got nearly 3,000 people watching, so if you are new to the United Stand, make sure you click that subscribe button and get involved with us on a regular basis. We are live every night at 8 o'clock. Watch-alongs for every United game. Skype show on a Monday night at 8 o'clock where you can call in and have your say. It's a fan content channel. It's all about fan opinion because to us, that's the most important voice in football. So get involved. Fantastic community. As you can see to my left, live comments always a big part of the interaction on the show. Live content is pretty much all we do. So subscribe, bottom right hand corner in the hologram, and join what is a fantastic community. You won't regret it. The big thing about the United Stand is the community and the live community. It's the best Manchester United fan community out there. Better than any forum, website or anything, Twitter account or anything. It is absolutely brilliant because people actually say what they really think on it because they're passionate about the club. And I also agree that not everyone's a United fan. It's odd. Well, it's not odd in a bad way, but we do have a lot of fans who aren't United fans. But there's some tasty tackles coming in here. But some good link-up play with Valencia as well, who's got a lot of space. Let's use this position. Valencia should have got rid of that a lot quicker than he did.
Yeah,
they're flying into tackles Huddersfield, and United just need to use the quality. Like I say, and we've done that in the last 5 minutes. We're not getting involved in silly little tackles, but
I mean, looking at it at the minute, I mean, Martial seems to be the main danger man, not Lukaku. And it's Ashley Young down that left-hand side that's putting in. Last couple of minutes, he's put in a couple of decent balls there. That just haven't.
Dear. It looks like Phil Jones might be injured.
Yeah.
And this is the problem with Phil Jones. Phil Jones, look, he's done really, really, really well. But we've said it on this show so many times. He's injury prone, and I feel sorry for Jones, but it's Mourinho who annoys me about this because we know Phil Jones. We've known him for 6 years. He can't stay fit.
Oh well, that's him out till the end of the season again. He's got such an he's so unlucky with injuries. He really is.
But I don't even think it's unlucky. He's just injury prone, and Mourinho, for all his brilliance, and I love Mourinho, he could have watched the United Stand and we would have told him, don't ever build a team around Phil Jones because he will get injured. It really winds me up because we've wasted a substitution on it. And I know it sounds really, really harsh, but I would have put any money on this, that Phil Jones would be injured by the end of October because he cannot stay fit. I think this is the longest he has ever done again. I think he's up to 8 games or 9 games now, but it's just, he can't stay fit. And he's been playing really well. But as I said before, he could be Maldini reincarnated as a footballer. I still wouldn't pick him because you can't trust him. And centre-backs have to be trusted because you want to build up a partnership. But as somebody just said there, it's another. So WTox154 said maybe it's not that bad. Well, how bad do you want it, mate? He's gone off after like 20 minutes. It's bad enough. I don't care if he's back next week. The reality is he's got to play 90 minutes and he can't do it.
Well, I did see when he was on the floor there, he's shaking his hands.
He smacks the ground really hard. Yeah.
He's had it. He's done. He's got to come off. But on the plus side, Lindelof now. Let's see what he's made of.
It's more injuries for United though, isn't it? You know, we're up to 8 now that we're carrying. It's really odd that. I mean, it's something I was going to talk about on the Sunday show, so I don't want to get into it too much. But it is really odd that every October for probably the last 7 years, it was in Sir Alex Ferguson's reign, Moyes, Van Gaal, Mourinho. Every October, United have loads of injuries compared to anybody else, and it's every October. And we've changed fitness coaches, we've changed regimes, we've changed how we train the players, but every October the same thing happens, like clockwork. It's really, really weird.
Do you know what I would have to say now? If he's out for a significant amount of time now, I wouldn't keep him at the club.
Oh, he's got a new contract on offer. It's madness. Absolute madness. He cannot be trusted. And people will take that as me being negative. I'm not. My priority is this. Not Adidas. It's this. I'm looking at the screen. And my priority is Manchester United, and it doesn't matter how good he is, especially as a centre-back. The best centre-back partnerships, whether it's Bruce, Pallister, Vidic and Ferdinand, they are the best because they play 30 to 40 games a season together. You cannot just play a handful as a centre-back because it's all about building a rhythm.
Yeah, definitely. And, as well as building a rhythm, you've got to form that partnership with your other centre-back, and you've got to learn that trust as well. So it's Phil Jones. I mean, he's, as I said, so unlucky, but I think now his time is done now.
I hate to be proved right, but a lot of you lot said it as well. It doesn't matter how well he plays, he'll get injured, and then what does it matter? You may as well play somebody who's a little bit worse than him who can play every week, and I agree.
But it is such a shame though, because he has been playing so well. Even before Bay's injury, the partnership he formed with Bay, they looked quite solid.
Well, even Bay's quite injury prone, and he picks up a lot of injuries.
Well, yeah, but I think Bay's are more like little niggly ones, aren't they? They're not really that serious.
Anyway, let's lighten the mood up a little bit. I've always said Smalling's better than Jones, and he's on the pitch, so we'll be all right. And, Lindelof, £30 million, sometimes being thrown at the deep end. I know Mourinho's trying to play him in, but it's it'll take a lot more confidence being thrown in the deep end if we get a clean sheet today. So United are having a lot of ball at the moment. So
yeah, I mean, hopefully now. I mean, it's an unlucky injury for Jones, but it's Lindelof's game, so you can get a string of games together here with Smalling, seeing as Bay's out at the minute as well, and we'll be able to see what the 30 million I think he cost, wasn't it? Something like that. Hopefully we'll be able to see a string of games where he puts in his performances now, and we can see what we bought.
Oh, there's a chance. And a goal for Huddersfield. Bloody hell.
1 in 7. What? Oh dear, oh dear.
This is just a bloody embarrassment. This is from United. 1 goal in 7, and we've let them score in half an hour.
This is I mean, what can you say about it?
It's a loss of the ball by Mata, and they've got a 3-on-2. It's not Lindelof's fault. Who's blaming Lindelof there? They've got a 3-on-2. It's because it's probably Mata's fault. I can't believe people are blaming Lindelof. It's because we lose the ball.
Yeah, the ball's given away very bit cheaply, in my opinion. And yeah, they got the break on us. They got the run on us. 3 against 2. You can't really do much. But it's a mistake from our end. Probably a mistake that shouldn't have happened.
Well, this is what we said we don't want to happen, is to go 1-0 down to a team like this, because their energy levels will go absolutely massive now. And I'm with you, Abidjan. I don't know how people are blaming Lindelof there when he's got somebody running full pelt at him into the box, and it's a 3-on-2 situation, i.e. we've got 2 centre-backs, they've got 3 attackers. I
don't think you can't really put anyone at fault there. It was a bad pass to Matt. It was a heavy pass to Mata in the first place. Bit of a heavy first touch from him as well, on his weaker foot with his right foot. I don't think anyone's to blame for that.
No, it's the loss of the ball in the midfield that causes that goal.
Someone's just said stupid from Mickey Selling. He's not with Paul Gibson. Stupid from Mickey Selling. He's not even on the pitch.
I haven't seen loads of it, but I think it might be Mata's fault. I didn't see who passed Mata the ball before that. Could be Herrera, but let us know in the live comments, because obviously a lot of you are actually watching this properly, and let us know who was at fault for that, because from what I saw, Mata lost the ball, but it could have been from a bad pass before that, in which case I think Herrera was closest to him.
It was a heavy pass to him. It was literally probably about a 6-7 yard pass, and it was quite a heavy ball for him to control. Yeah.
Herrera, so United go down 1-0 just to City go up 1-0.
Yeah.
Like, I'm totally expecting a City win today anyway, so that's irrelevant to me, but it will hurt more if we don't win. Whoa, ref!
Come on.
You bold... What? Herrera always dives. Why didn't he stay down there? It was a horrific tackle. No,
could have been a card.
It should be a yellow card. Did he get a yellow card?
I think he's got away with it, mate.
I tell you what, I don't want to be too negative, but I think we're going to struggle to get a draw the way we're playing at the moment. It's just, this game to me was always the one to judge us on. I know we were disappointed after Liverpool, but that was what it was. We weren't particularly great against Benfica, and good skills by De Gea. But this is the one. This is where it's all at. Cobb Ross Aitken says the ball was there for Lindelof to win. It is Mata's fault, but Lindelof should have gone for it and got the loose ball. From what I saw, that player's running at Lindelof full pelt, and if he goes in, we've seen Lindelof do it for Sweden and United. If he goes to make the tackle there and gets it wrong, it's a penalty. So I think Lindelof, he does get twisted and turned a bit, but I don't think you can be critical of him for the goal. The ball comes because we're committing men forward and we lose the ball, and as soon as you've got 3 attackers against 2, I think it's harsh to blame the 2 defenders. It's not their fault. It's a 2-on-3. We had the ball.
What I will say about that is when that guy's running at Lindelof, he's just backing away and backing away.
Yeah, stand him up a bit.
Yeah, maybe he could have stood him up, or could have done something fake as though he's going to go in for a tackle and then back off him.
I just think what I'm trying to say is, if you want to start to say Lindelof should have done this better than the other, that's fine. But the reality is, it's not his fault we've conceded a goal. It's the goal doesn't come from a mistake he makes. Maybe he could have done a little bit better, but the mistake had been made in relation to how the ball was given away. And unfortunately, half time is only 10 minutes away. Jared Pesserman says, it's unfortunate to say, but if we draw or lose this game, I believe the title race is done. We're 2-0 down.
Oh my God. What is going on here?
I think, Jared, you're probably right. This is the disgrace from United. Absolute disgrace.
What?
I don't even know what happened there. I'm just waiting for it now.
What is going on with this side?
It's literally a long ball from the back.
Yeah.
Now that is Lindelof's fault. That is Lindelof's fault.
He's let him go.
I can't defend him on that because he can't defend himself. That is shocking. Long ball from the back.
Oh. I'll tell you what, I wish I could say what I'd want to say now, but I can't. But what is he doing there? Why?
That is shocking. That I haven't seen a goal like that since England in South Africa in 2010. It's a goal kick from it's out the goalie's hands and they've scored. Yeah. It's a disgraceful bit of defending.
Do you know what? I had a funny feeling in the summer that when Mourinho buys a flop, we'll know about it, and I really thought Lindelof was going to be it.
Wow.
I don't like to be proved right, but I didn't see the attraction with Lindelof whatsoever for Mourinho. I really didn't. And this, I mean, he's just let him go. He's You
know what? I did a video about a year ago in December about top 5 centre-backs, and I think Lindelof came in at 5th for me. There were 4 better options. Howard was 1. I think Jimenez at Atletico Madrid. Van Dijk, I think, was in there. But he's not, he's not an awful centre-back. He's not an awful centre-back by any means, but I can't defend that. I cannot defend that. To me, he's not even looking at the flight of the ball. When he's ducking down, has he got a shout from De Gea there to leave it? I mean, I've played a lot of football, and I've played decent level football, and I've played pub football, and a goalkeeper kicking it up front like that, and a striker basically running on it and scoring is unbelievable. It's terrible. Look, I can't say anything other than that. It's absolutely shocking. Smalling's next to him, but it's not Smalling's man. It's not Smalling's ball to go and get. The one thing you're told as a centre-back, because I actually had trials for Northampton Town as a centre-back, is that, and they didn't tell me this, I was told this years ago by my granddad, is that you just don't when there's a long ball, don't let it bounce. You've got to go and attack it. And
do you know what? I'm
absolutely atrocious defending. I can't say any more. It was. I'm not going to turn on Lindelof because I still think he's capable of doing it. But look, he wasn't starting the game today. And the reality is, I think Lindelof is going to get a lot of criticism. But I'm going to go back to what I was saying a few minutes ago. Why the hell has Mourinho built a centre-back partnership with Phil Jones in it? Because he's going to do what he did today. The big problem with United is we don't concede that first goal. Maybe not even this. We might concede the first goal. We don't concede the second goal if Phil Jones is playing.
Well,
I think United should have just had a penalty, by the way.
Yeah. The thing is, I mean, could you say De Gea could have done more? I mean, he stood there, but if he goes to ground, there's a risk of a penalty and a card. So no, I don't think De Gea is to blame there at all.
United need a goal before half time.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully the only positive spin we can put on it, or that I can put on it, is the second half. I think maybe we will see the front three of Martial, Lukaku and Rashford. Because that is really the only option that's on the bench.
I think Lingard needs to come off. I think he needs to go and do what a lot of people said he should have done today and play Mata at 10. I mean, the horrible thing is, for those people who aren't watching it, it's just, it is exactly like a game at Old Trafford. It's all United, and both their goals have come from breaks. We made the mistake on the first one, losing the ball, and then the second goal, it's Martial's trying his best, but Huddersfield are just up for this at the moment.
I mean, every time that poor lad gets the ball, they're crowding him out. So I think maybe now we would Well, I hope Jose does it. I would take Lingard off second half, Mata at number 10, get Rashford on there.
I'll tell you what I haven't done, Marcus, just while you're talking, I'll update the score because I'm in shock. I'm stunned.
I can't believe it, mate, honestly.
And to be honest as well, let me just say this. It is very, very clear that United are playing awful defensively when a team like Huddersfield, who've scored 1 in 7, are 2-0 up at half-time. I mean, that tells you a lot. This is not a good attacking side at all. And, yeah, shocking. Minnie Mourner's made another contribution. He says, poor, very poor. I still think 6th, second is a good year, but not great. We're currently a great team. Individual errors and refs costing us. Yeah, I don't know whether that was a penalty or not. They're making a substitution.
I think if that's a penalty to United, then I think Herrera's looked for that a bit, to be honest. But we're too static with the ball. We're not going forward quick enough. You know, I can't think of a save that the goalie's had to make again. I mean, I'm absolutely stunned. How in God's name has this happened? This is Huddersfield Town. I mean, coming off the back of the last 2 performances, it should be a lot better than this. A lot better than this. And as fans, we expect to be a lot better than this.
A lot of people going on about the referee and the linesman. Look, we're away from home. The crowd are baying for our blood, and Premier League referees are shit. I mean, I know sworn, but they are. But we're 2-0 down, not because of a referee. We're 2-0 down because we played a silly pass in the midfield which sold our defence out and left a 3-on-2, which any Premier League team should take advantage of. And the second goal is just, that shouldn't happen anywhere in professional football in England today. It's a goalkeeper kicking it long and then a forward running through and scoring. I mean, with 2 centre-backs with him, it just should not happen. It's funny, on the day of... it's quite ironic, actually, on the day of... Nemanja Vidic's birthday, who I was tweeting about this morning, not only he didn't run through brick walls for United, he ate them. And God, you know, we go on about missing Roy Keane. I don't think I've seen a centre back better for United. I know everyone says, "Oh, Ferdinand was brilliant," and he technically was one of the best centre backs England have ever produced. But I'd take Vidic every day of the week because he just, that sort of ball, there's no messing about. He just gets what being a centre-back's about. It doesn't matter if he can pass the ball out the back like Ferdinand could. Vidic just didn't mess about. He throw his body on the line, positionally very good, and goes and wins everything in the air. And that, it really winds me up. I remember watching England play, I think it was against Germany in the South Africa World Cup, and they scored a very similar goal. And I couldn't shut up about it for weeks. How a professional centre-back lets a long ball from a keeper bounce and run through to the striker is disgraceful. You should not even be being paid £10 a week, let alone 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 grand a week. If you can't do the basics, get off the bus.
That's it, yep. Can I just point out, Mark, you've got United winning 2-0 on your scoreboard.
Oh, optimism. I don't think we'll be putting much in that column, judging by this today. I mean, Lukaku, whether he's been good or not, he's starved of anything again. Just...
You know, the way this is going, I don't even see us scoring, to be honest. I really don't.
Well, he's going to have to let the horses run freely in the second half. I agree with you. I think it's a good point. We're going to have to get Rashford on, and he's going to have to just burn the bus.
Well, I can't see him having any other option, to be honest. I mean, Mkhitaryan's form the last few games, would you want to stick him on? I wouldn't. Well, I mean, the only option is Rashford, and that's how depleted our bench is.
It's what he'll do though. I can still imagine him taking Martial off for Rashford when actually we all know what he needs to do.
He can't do that. So he If he took an
He needs to
attacking
get
player
two.
off,
What he needs to do is get two up front. He needs to get two up front on the quick, and because Lukaku's up on his own, and he's got 2 or 3 players near him all the time. To be honest with you, I mean, I'm looking at United there, and we've got Matic, Lindelof, and Smalling all together with one Huddersfield player there. We're 2-0 down, for God's sake. There's no point having 3 players back on their own. You've got to go further forward. Huddersfield is still parking the bus. That's been their tactic today. Park the bus, let us make mistakes, and hit us on the break. I mean, they think it's bloody Christmas. That second goal, shocking. And they're on the break again here because Martial's played a soft pass.
I mean, the way it's going, I would probably, if it was me, throw caution to the wind and go 3-4-3 or the 4-3-3. And after what Lindelof's done, I know it's probably harsh, but I'd probably take him off.
Well, we're going to be 2-0 down at half time because that half quite typically has absolutely flown by. But Mini Mourner's made another contribution. He says, sadly, I think we will need another big transfer window, defender number 10 and a left winger. But looking on what City did this summer, is that truly a surprise? I cannot wait for Rojo to return. And Moho Hammer says, there goes the Premier League title. Obviously, it's way too early to say that. But what I would agree with on that comment is what I've been saying for the last few days. Whether you want to finish 5th, 6th, 4th, 3rd or 2nd or 1st, you've got to go to Huddersfield and win. This isn't about winning a title. This is about potentially leaving the door open for people like Chelsea to catch us again. This is shocking. This doesn't matter what, forget the title. This is like, are we going to actually progress from 6th? Because this is poor. Really, really poor. But I do stand by. I said it in the summer and I got called a moaner. Mourinho did not get the players he wanted in the summer. He didn't. And I still think we're 150, 200 million pounds short. I do. I don't think we've got anything like a squad to win a title. I don't. I think we've got massive problems within this squad. And Mourinho said it himself. He needs another transfer window. Whether he does need another transfer window and he should have just been given the money this summer is another matter. But I agree with that. We still got massive problems with this squad. And I think Mourinho's overachieved. But there's another mistake here. And Huddersfield nearly scored.
There's a replay of the Herrera penalty incident as well.
Stonewall.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I did actually thought he played for it first off, but that is a penalty.
Yeah. Well, it's nothing new, is it?
No. We're used to all these decisions going against us, but we can't keep on having that as an excuse. But I don't think it's no coincidence these 2 goals come on, mate, as soon as Lindelof gets in. I really don't rate the guy. I don't.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not. I did say it before when it was 0-0 though, didn't I? I said, look, he's thrown in at the deep end, but these are the sort of games that could, it can go one or two ways. You could be inspired, or you get thrown in the deep end and you're drowned. And I still go back. I don't, a lot of people are going to blame Lindelof. Personally, I think Mourinho needs to take a bit of the blame because look. I always say this about fan opinion, and a lot of you don't want to listen to it. United fans, when we were managed by Van Gaal, United fans knew more about United than Van Gaal. We were like, play these players, and he wouldn't do it. And when he did, it worked. What have I said, and a lot of you have said about Phil Jones is, it doesn't matter how good he is, he will get injured. So you cannot build a team around Phil Jones because he will get injured. Mourinho tries to do it, keeps playing him every week, and then we go into an important game like this. Phil Jones goes off after 20 minutes injured. It totally disrupts our centre-backs, and we let 2 soft goals in. So Mourinho's got to take some responsibility for doing something that was just never going to work. And I'm not moaning about Phil Jones. He's played really, really well. But he was always going to get injured. Just wide from Matic.
Yeah.
Corner, I think.
Something is definitely good. They all need a right rollicking at half time here. as you said just now, these are the games that when you come into this sort of game like Lindelof has, it can make or break you. And so far, it's broken him. He just does not.
What's that?
He is totally lacking in confidence.
I don't think Herrera's played well today as well. I stick up for Herrera a lot. I don't think he has. I actually think Herrera was the problem on the goal.
Yeah, I mean the first one, yeah, definitely. 'Cause it was a very, very poor pass to Mata. It needn't have been passed that hard. But to be honest, mate, I think the whole team has been a bit of a shambles. You could probably excuse Valencia, probably Ashley Young, but there's no threat on goal. Lukaku again, no service. Lingard has been absolutely dire on the right hand side, in around the area as well. It's as Lingard as a number 10 just does not work for me.
Yeah, well, I suppose the problem with that is that it doesn't work with Mkhitaryan either, does it? We need to solve that number 10 position. It's a real problem.
Well, it could be solved in January if Ozil's coming, if rumours are to be believed.
Yeah.
And to be honest, the way our number 10s are playing at the minute, I would take him. Surely anything is going to be an upgrade on what's happening at the minute.
Yeah. Ross, can you hear me? Ross?
I do, Mark.
I have got Marcus is on the phone as well. Marcus is obviously here for the first half. Give us your thoughts on that half, pal. Absolutely shambles, I would say. Stunned.
Yeah, absolutely stunned, mate. The big thing for me is going to be the second half. I think you just got to forget it now. I have seen performances like that from United in the past under Fergie, but the difference that we had would be the second half reaction. So that's going to be key for me. There needs to be a hell of a reaction. I'm not going to pin the blame on any one player. There's obvious ones to do it, but it's all 11 players on that pitch have been a bit of a shambles today for me. I can't pick out a best player. I can't pick out a worst. Probably could, but he shouldn't even be on the pitch. We feel Calamity Jones shouldn't have got injured. So it's just been, like you say, an absolute shambles. I'm not going to pin blame. I just want to see reaction in the second half.
Yeah, obviously I've sort of had a bit of a rant about Phil Jones. Not because he's played badly, but I sort of blame Mourinho, really. I have said this a lot over the last 2 months, that why is Mourinho building his team around Phil Jones? He was always going to get injured, and he did get injured. And then whatever people think about Lindelof, that's the point where we suddenly go 2-0 down. I thought we were, Huddersfield didn't look like a threat at all. And then Phil Jones goes off, and we suddenly look a mess.
Yeah, it is tough. It's tough to come on because you're not in the mindset to play, to be honest, as Lindelof. He probably knew he wasn't going to get minutes today. He wasn't fit, he wasn't warmed up. So it is hard to come in. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But I thought for both goals he was crap. The second goal was obviously a joke, but the first goal as well, he should have done better. Yeah, it's just been a calamity performance all round. Herrera again sideways. Well, Mata lost the ball for that first goal. Lingard can't hit a pass to anyone. And Lukaku has gone missing again. It's just disappointing, mate. Really disappointing. Martial looks to be our best player, but his head's gone. So
Yeah. I mean, Martial's walking a tightrope, yellow cards, and Huddersfield are getting at him. Matthew McFeddian says, what an absolute joke of a first half. Lindelof wasn't to blame for the first goal, but that was Sunday League defensive play for the second one. Yeah, if anyone's not seen the second goal, it literally is. If you get up tomorrow morning and go and watch any pub game down on some crap park, you'll see a goal like that, I guarantee it. Goalkeeper, out of his hands, kicks it long. No centre-back from United goes for it. Lindelof's the closest, and it just goes through to the forward, who runs past the keeper and scores. It is an absolute. It should not happen. Not on any. If you are paid to play football, no matter if it's £100 or £100 a week, that should never happen. And that pretty much has probably taken the game away from us. And I don't know. I mean, you said Mata there. I actually thought the first goal, Mata loses the ball, but I'm pretty sure you were saying, Marcus, that it was a heavy pass from Herrera, who, to be honest, has had one too many heavy passes today. Or maybe he's gone. But yeah, I don't know whether you saw that, Ross. The Herrera pass before it was. I think Mata never got it under control, and that's where we lost it.
Yeah, Herrera for me has been crap. Matic is. I thought Matic is playing really well, but he's basically playing a one-man midfield. Herrera goes missing far too often, and he doesn't. He can't. I'm going to probably sound too harsh here, but it's because we're losing and I'm pissed off. But for me, Herrera can't shoot. His passing's pretty atrocious. All he is a closing down merchant. Well, when you're playing teams like Huddersfield, it's no good. We need creative players, and he isn't that. But again, I can't pin the blame on just him because Matt has not really played that well. I'm not going to pin the goal on him, but he hasn't played well. Lingard's been awful, and Ashley Young's been pretty crap as well. So it's just all round. I can't pick out. For me, Matic has been our better player because he's trying to create. And there was a really telltale sign. I think it was on about 37 minutes where Matic was on the edge of the box with the ball at his feet, and he was literally looking up at about a row of 6 players who were just standing there looking at him. If you don't move, you're not going to get the ball, and that would frustrate the hell out of me in Matic's position. He ended up losing the ball because there's just nothing. There's no space for anyone.
You know what? I've got no problem with you having a moan. If anybody out there is saying you're being negative or anything like that, come on, wake up and smell the coffee. We're Manchester United fans. This isn't off the cuff reaction. We were talking about it an hour before kickoff. I spoke about it on the preview. This is Huddersfield Town away. Whether you want to finish 5th or 1st, you've got to go and win there. And that defensive display is shocking and probably is going to cost us a point, let alone 3 points. And a draw's not good enough. A draw is not good enough. And I tell you what, match reactions, the fan cams we've got, it's going to go off like a bloody rocket from me, from everybody else. If we don't win this game, it's going off. And that's not overreaction like Arsenal fans or anything like that. It's just unacceptable. Unacceptable for us to put in a performance like that. And I will stick up for anybody who's annoyed, frustrated with that. Because, supporting a club is not about just sitting back and going, that's football. It isn't. Supporting a club's being passionate about it. And if you've got your arse in your hands because you're frustrated by that first half, then welcome to supporting a club because that's what it's all about. How do we solve it, Ross? Because it's either going to be carnage at full time or the biggest celebration in weeks because we've pulled out a rabbit out of the hat. How does he pull that rabbit out of the hat and turn this around? Because Huddersfield think it's Christmas. They've got a 2-goal lead. They're sat back and hitting us on the break, and we're going to have to do something to change that.
There's nothing on the bench for me. I think he just needs to get the best out of the players that are on the pitch. They look like they're playing at about 40%. He needs to stop moaning about Champions League fatigue. Doesn't come into it for me. Everyone else has played Champions League football, and they seem to be winning. So he just needs to rev them players up at half-time and give them a right good rollicking. I mean, I don't know what Jose Mourinho is like in the dressing room, but I can imagine he's quite a calm figure. But he needs to rally them up because it's been shocking, absolutely shocking. And again, I wouldn't be, if I was Jose Mourinho, I would not be blaming Lindelof in that dressing room. I'll be blaming all 11 men because it was just poor by all of them. I think just Lindelof's second goal mistake was just atrocious, and it's easy to blame him.
I tell you what, I think this could be City scored a bloody penalty as well. United should have had a penalty, I will say that, but I don't want to talk about referees. We should have had a penalty on Herrera, but on the other hand, we shouldn't expect to get a penalty, a stonewall penalty away from home with that sort of a referee. So I don't want to moan about that too much. But I'll tell you what, I'm old enough to know. I know exactly what Sir Alex Ferguson would do in a game like this. Rashford would be on at half-time. He'd take Lingard off. He'd stick 2 up front. And he'd shove Ashley Young virtually as a left winger. He'd put Martial up front, and he'd just go for it because the reason he'd go for it is we're playing an opposition that actually we shouldn't be scared of. They're not going to come out with some tactical masterclass that's going to beat us 5 or 6-0. They might get another one on the break, but we've already conceded 2 on the break. We need to just smash them for 45 minutes, get another player on, and go for it. Whether Mourinho's that sort of manager, I don't know, but Sir Alex Ferguson 100% would do it. And I would do it because it's too easy for Huddersfield. Lukaku has got about 3 or 4 players on him all the time, as is Martial. we need to get another forward up on there, and we need to go for it, because actually coming away from this with a loss is disgraceful, and there's going to be a big reaction to this. I think we could be, if we lose this, Ross, I think we're in for one of the most boring Premier Leagues in years, because City will just extend and extend and extend, and so it's our job to go with them, and if we can't beat Huddersfield, we're not going to go with them.
Yeah, I totally agree. The Rashford subs, yeah, probably the right one as well. It does frustrate me, because this would be Fellaini's game, but he's not available for it, and it would be in Pogba's game, because I'm seeing a lack of height there, to be honest. The crosses, every time we get the cross in position, as long as they've got Lukaku marked, who else is it? It's Jesse Lingard, Juan Mata. Then we haven't really got that aerial threat anymore, only from corners. So it's going to be tough. But again, it's Manchester United, for God's sake. We can't be too down and out, because you'd expect a reaction in the second half. And if it doesn't happen, then I'll be furious.
I'll tell you what annoys me, though. And it makes no sense to say this, but I'll say it because I'll just say what I think. I'd rather we lost than got a draw, because a draw would be turned into a good result, and actually a draw is a shit result. It really is. We've got to win. We've got to go and win it. And I know that makes no sense at all. It's just petulance, because I'm sure if it was a 3-3, of course I'm going to take a point over a loss. But I think for me it's a win, or we've got to win this game, and how he does it, I do not know. I don't know whether he's capable of it, but we've got to win this game. And I think the only way to do that is to attack. I mean, I was saying to Marcus in the first 20 minutes, we were getting into a battle and Martial was picking up yellow cards. If you go down to an idiot's level, they're going to win, because they're used to being an idiot. We shouldn't have been in a fight. We should have done what we did for around the 25-minute mark, is just get hold of the ball. We've got the better players. And at the moment, it's too easy for Huddersfield to get back into it. But loads of people obviously very angry, because we've got 4,700 people watching. Make sure you click the subscribe icon in the bottom right-hand corner, because if you're as angry as we are, we've got Sunday night show at 8 o'clock tomorrow night. We've got fan cams, we've got match reactions. It's going to go off like a bottle of pop if we lose this game, and rightly so. Don't feel shy about that. It will do. We got a comment here from Likings Pro TV. A bunch of nerds play soccer who don't want to get hit like real sport. Soccer is meant for little kids who want... Oh, here we go. He obviously plays American football or something like that. Absolutely idiotic comment from somebody who doesn't understand what football is all about. It will finish Huddersfield 2, Manchester United 4. I'll tell you what, mate. One way or another, Ross, one way or another, it's going to go off, isn't it? We're either going to pull off an amazing comeback, or we're going to get beat. And either way, that will create emotion.
Yeah, we'll either forget this game forever, or we'll be watching YouTube videos about it in about 3 years' time. But I don't know about you, but I just look for I kind of divide the second half up now into sort of 60 minutes and 80 minutes, and we have to have a goal by 60 minutes to come back into this for a victory. And we have to have 2 goals by 80 minutes. Again, I kind of look for them little milestones, and the longer it goes on, the longer we don't score, you'll be conceding the defeat or draw at minimum. But for me, it's still winnable. 3 goals in one half against Huddersfield, totally doable.
So annoying, though. I mean, Matthew McFadden just says, in relation to the last comment, the guy's opinion would actually have some credit if he didn't say soccer. Very good point. But the annoying thing is, Huddersfield, 1 goal in their last 7. I think they've lost their last 3 or 4. It doesn't take a weatherman to tell you that, you know, when it's raining outside, and it doesn't take a football expert to say United must be playing pretty bad to be 2-0 down to Huddersfield, a team that can't score and has been playing poorly, and yet we're 2-0 down. It's a massive, massive sign that we're just playing absolutely abysmal.
Yeah, I agree. Huddersfield are probably the worst team in the Premier League for me. So,
one thing we'll probably pick up on it on the Sunday show tomorrow night, but I've been saying this, the last 7 years in October, we've had an injury crisis for the last 7 years. We've changed physios, we've changed training tactics, but every single October, for as far as I can remember, we've had loads of injuries. And again, I think we're up to 8 now with Phil Jones. No other club has it, but United, every October, we've got loads of players out. I mean, it's not an excuse, but it's a problem. And I don't know why it keeps happening.
I'll tell you why it keeps happening. Pogba and Fellaini are unfortunate, and I think you just take them to one side. The reason why the others keep happening is we keep hanging on and giving new contracts to injury-prone players.
Yeah.
If you build a squad around players that are constantly injured, you're going to be injury here. And
All right, Ross, it's about to kick off. I'll see you on the other side. Thanks for coming on.
See you later.
That has a 90 on Twitter.
See you later, Ross, mate. See you later.
See you later, guys.
Kickoff has started. Really good point by Ross there. They put it more eloquently than I did. You know, the reason we're getting a lot of injuries is because we've got injury-prone playing players. And nobody more... What?
I can't believe what I'm seeing.
Mkhitaryan on for Rashford. Mkhitaryan and Rashford on for Martial and Mata. Has that really just happened?
I think it has.
Oh, for God's sake. My good night.
Do you know what I was thinking at half time there? What makes it worse is if we lose this game, what is going to happen against Spurs and Chelsea?
Jesus Christ.
I can't honestly believe Lingard's still on the pitch.
My good night. I'm just absolute. If we win this, Mourinho deserves to win Manager of the Century, because that is the most messed up logic I have ever seen. I hope it works, but my goodness, I'm absolutely stunned. Maybe Mourinho has lost his magic. Maybe I'm backing somebody who's just finished. I do not know. I cannot, for the life of me, understand what he has done there. Not even the two worst players on the pitch.
No,
by a long way, not bad halves. But I mean, is Mourinho just trying to prove a point here that I don't like playing Martial, so we're losing, so I'll take him off? I mean, Jesus Christ. How is Martial in any way culpable for United being 2-0 down for a start? Why? Why take him up? What did he do in that half that was bad? Nothing. He's on a yellow card. But, my God, I am absolutely stunned by that. Is that just me or what?
No, totally agree with you, mate. Not the way I would have gone. I thought he would have gone all out attacking, left them two straight on there. If anything, I think probably Lingard and maybe a defender to come off, or at least take one of the holding midfielders off. But it looks like Rashford's straight up top with Lukaku. But why he's adamant and not playing all three together, I don't know. Especially when we're 2-0 down.
I can't call him an idiot at the moment. We've got 45 minutes, but oh God, the list is getting longer. I like to take notes during the game for like my match reaction, but I didn't think things could go any worse than that.
No, I think we all. I mean, the comments, me and you. I mean, even Ross has said like the obvious ones to come off. The comments were saying Lingard would have been the obvious one to come off.
It doesn't make any sense on so many levels. Mainly because we've got 45 minutes of the game to go. What if we get another injury? We've got no subs left. So that's stupid. 2, we've just taken 2 of our best creative players off the pitch at half time. I just do not get... There is no logic to it. If it works, like I say, he deserves knighting, because I can't see it working. But it's also massively, massively risky, because you've got no other option. If somebody gets injured, there's no comeback. I'd have been disappointed. I will just put it in writing now. I would have been disappointed if he took just Mata off or just Martial off. I'd be moaning. To do both... Phew. I tell you what, if this goes wrong, Marcus, I'm going to be serious about this. Obviously, I never want Mourinho to get the sack or anything like that. But Liverpool last week, the comments he made about Paris, and what he's done today is he's starting. He's only at the top, I grant, but he's at the start of a very slippery slope. You cannot start doing things like this and expect United fans to just sit and go, yeah, that's fine, that's fine. They won't. Mata and Martial are fan favourites. Mkhitaryan's been a disgrace in a United shirt for the last month, and he takes 2 players off who are actually good players for somebody like Mkhitaryan. Rashford's not even been that good lately either.
No, and let's not forget as well, Rashford, isn't he supposed to be carrying an injury as well? So
maybe he wants to get the sack, says Rayan.
Well, there is that, isn't it? I mean, yeah, people have mentioned that. It's not beyond the realms of possibility. You know, I'm sure he wouldn't want to walk away from the job, but if he got the sack, it's a different situation altogether.
Nicholas says that he's going to come out and blame injuries. I tell you what, if he comes out and blames injuries, or he's going to make himself look bloody stupid because he had a go at everybody else who did that in the week, and if he comes out and blames Champions League fatigue, he can sit down about that as well. You know, he can blame himself. He's picked the team. He bought Lindelof. He put credit. You know, he put his defence on Phil Jones when everybody said Phil Jones will get injured, and he's took Mata and Martial off.
Yeah, I mean, there was a good comment there. Who was it? Let's have a look. Samuel Best, who cares about fan favourites? We need results. And yeah, totally agree with that.
If it works out,
yeah,
you know, he's paid the big bucks. Mourinho's been proved right over many of us a few times already in his short time as United manager. If he turns this round, I will love it. But I just think the move is. I just think it's very risky. I think I can't see it. But we're more or less playing with a back 3. I agree with Marcus. I don't know how Jesse Lingard's still on the pitch. I thought he was shocking in the first half. Obviously, it's very risk averse because why would you take Mata or Martial off and trust Mkhitaryan when he's done nothing for 2 games, 3 games, 4 games? But if it could work. At the end of the day, Huddersfield are going to sit back, and it's our job to get through that. But I think you've got a lot of players out on that pitch whose form, in an attacking sense, isn't that good at the moment. Mkhitaryan, Lukaku, Lingard, Rashford, Herrera. You know, they're not playing well at the moment. And the one thing I've always said about Mata, and, well, I'll do Martial in a minute. Mata is Mr. Consistent, so you want someone like that. And Martial is our best attacker. You know, he's our best flair player. So the only thing I could be friendly with Mourinho about it is say, well, maybe Mata was at fault for the first goal, and that's annoyed him. And maybe he's worried about Martial on a yellow card.
Yeah, but even if we're 2-0 down,
I've seen him with Fellaini get a yellow card in the first half, and we've all been going, get him off, and he doesn't. He doesn't do that. Yeah. So that's a cop-out excuse. I can't, I'm not making excuses for him. He just doesn't like Martial, and everybody needs to accept that. He does not like Martial. He doesn't like the fact that Martial is a fan favourite, and he doesn't like Martial. And he makes out that he does, but he clearly doesn't.
No, he doesn't, no.
But I just really hope we can get back in this. We just need to get, it's little steps. 1 goal, we build again. Oh, it's wide from Young. I mean, there's definitely a lot of attackers out there, Marcus. Definitely a change in tactics.
Yeah, there's a change in tactics, but we took off probably the most creative player in Mata and probably our most attacking threat in Martial. For a player in Mkhitaryan, who's, as you say, his form has been dreadful, not been creative enough, not been linking the midfield to the attack, and Rashford, who is carrying a slight knock. I mean, it is a risky move, but as you say, if he pulls it off, it's an absolute genius stroke. It's a masterclass. But somehow I just don't think this is going to happen. I think this is it. And if anything, I think we're probably going to let in maybe 1 more because we're going to be pushing so far forward. And I wouldn't trust leaving Lindelof and Smalling at the back to cope with Huddersfield attacking threat.
Oh dear. We thought the bad days were gone.
Yeah, we thought so, yeah.
Mini Moran has made another contribution. He says, can we truly blame him for not being sharp when we haven't been playing him? We need leaders to drive us forward in games like this.
I mean, that is something you could say. We don't have many leaders on the pitch. And as you touched on earlier in the first half, we've got a captain there that hardly speaks a word of English, if any.
Yeah.
So you look at who's the vocal point of the team, who's the one that's going to turn around and say to them, so much like Roy Keane did back in the day, get your head out your ass and let's start playing football. We are Manchester United. We should be winning this game. We should be putting on a show for these fans. And for the last 3 games,
I just tried to do a tackle there and totally bloody missed it.
Yeah, for the last 3 games, I've not seen it.
There's a comment here that sort of stood out from Nicholas Lever. He says, wow, so negative. Where is the fighting spirit till the last second? I don't know who that's aimed at, mate. Unfortunately, we're not on the pitch. I'm more than willing to give some fighting spirit, and I think we all are. And I think we're all saying if we pull this off, Mourinho deserves a medal. But I think we've all got every right, because we've been supporting United a lot longer than Mourinho's been here, to say some of his decision-making is stunning. It may be right, but it's still stunning. You cannot say it's wrong until the 90th minute. But I mean, we got to get a goal and then build, haven't we?
Well, that's the only thing we can hope for. If we get a goal, then obviously the nerves creep in. We're on the upper hand, and we may create a second. But the longer this goes on, the more comfortable Huddersfield are going to get, and the more nervous we're going to get.
I mean, what annoys me the most is that a lot of people are saying, well, look at us now, we're all over Huddersfield. But we were going to be all over Huddersfield. He's changed the formation so that we are all over Huddersfield. It's nothing to do with, the first half we were bad, the second half we're good. He's basically gone all attack, which you've got to do. But in going all attack, we've took off our most consistent attacker, Mata, and our best attacker in Martial when you need to score 3 goals. It doesn't make sense to do that. And on doing that, he swaps them with Rashford, who's piss poor on the left wing, to be honest, and Mkhitaryan, who's bang out of form. It doesn't make sense. But if it works, no one's going to celebrate more than we are. No. If it doesn't work, he leaves himself wide open, and that's my concern. I'm like, why have you done that? Why have you done that? Why have you left yourself so open to be absolutely ridiculed? But, I mean, we've already had 12 minutes go. I was saying at half-time, Marcus, if we draw, I'll still be really annoyed, but maybe we can get a draw.
To be honest, I don't see it happening. I really don't. Apart from a little bit more attacking threat, we're all over Huddersfield at the minute. But, this... how we're playing now, we should have been playing in the first half. It's pretty evident that after the first 5 minutes, Huddersfield had come here to rough us up. They're playing at home. They were going to rough us up. There were quite a few tasty tackles, and Mourinho should have maybe changed something then. Not necessarily in the personnel, but maybe in the tactics and the formation. But
I'll say this though. I mean, look, everyone's going on about how much we miss Fellaini, but the people, and I agree with that. I do agree with that. I'm not saying we don't, but do people not understand that's what the problem with United is? I mean, how many Premier League titles has Fellaini won? How many times has Fellaini been named in one of the best teams in Europe? He isn't. He simply isn't. He's a decent Premier League midfielder, and we miss him. And that tells you everything about Manchester United. We just haven't got the players. We haven't. And I don't think Mourinho was backed in the summer. I've said it so many times, and people say 300 million, but I don't think people understand the absolute mess that squad is that he inherited. It's full of players who just aren't good enough. And, I mean, I think everyone was just caught offside there. The cross came in. I hope we were caught offside, because if that wasn't, we should have scored. But anyway, with 3 subscribers off 143,000, so at least there's some positivity. But do subscribe if you're new. I tell you what, I pity we've got Flex up at Huddersfield to do fan cams. I think they're going to be bloody interesting if we lose this, because I'm fuming. I'm ready to do my match reaction now. I'm absolutely fuming. I'm just hoping we can turn it around. Mini Mourner says we need someone with a backbone in the middle to lead us forward. Mesut is not that player. Not sure Griezmann is either. We need someone on Roy Keane's level. Not brilliant on the ball, but a fighter. Yeah, they don't make people like that anymore.
No.
The thing is, though, the sad thing is, we were talking about this a few weeks. Let me just take this other comment from Luke Skywalker. He says, if De Gea leaves for Real Madrid, I don't blame him. Why would he want to stay and play in a team that only plays defensively? I'm so tired of Mourinho's style of football. Which is thanks for that comment. Thanks for the super chats. Keep them coming in. But I was just going to say that it's odd, isn't it, Marcus? How a few weeks ago we were saying we were whacking teams 3-4-0, and we were, oh yeah, this is brilliant. We're not conceding. We're scoring loads of goals. We've got a team who can bully anyone. We've got all these big players like Pogba, Fellaini, Matic, Bailly, Lukaku. We're just going to destroy all the little teams. A few short weeks later, we're getting bullied at Huddersfield, who hadn't scored. Well, they'd scored 1 goal in 7 before this. They'd lost their last 3. And then they're 2-0 up in half an hour, and we look like a bunch of cowards. And Mourinho's making odd subs. It's a bit like the days of Van Gaal again, isn't it? It's amazing how quick it's changed.
It is, yeah. But I've got to say, in Van Gaal's defence, if he brought someone on and they weren't doing the job like he did with, I think it was Paddy McNair, didn't he? He pulled him off again and sort of like destroyed his confidence. And I think maybe Mourinho should have done that with Lindelof. People may not like it, but I don't think it's any coincidence that the 2 goals have gone in when he's on the pitch. The first one was near enough instantly got in when he's on the pitch, and the second one is, well, for me, that's just absolutely ridiculous as a defender to duck under the ball like that. The only thing I could think of was if he got a shout from De Gea, but I don't think De Gea would have done.
I'll tell you what, I mean, there's only half an hour left. It's like the game's just whizzing by. The subs have done nothing.
The effort levels are not there today. It's pretty evident. They just don't seem interested. I mean, the first half, it was very lacklustre in the first half. But the second half, we've come out a bit better. At least we're trying to have a go. But again, we've not had a shot on target yet.
Good comment there. I'll try and grab it because we're getting so many comments. I'm going to go through them. It's always the one that you see, but then you can never find it again. I'm really sorry. I don't think they're going to be able to find it. Dylan doesn't understand why Martial is off. Lindelof isn't good enough, says Ernest. Look, there's a flip side to this coin. We can keep blaming Lindelof, and he was at fault for the second goal. Or we can say Huddersfield were 2-0 up after half an hour. We've still had an hour. We've still got half an hour, and it will be a total of an hour. And we've not had a shot on target. I don't remember us having a shot, to be honest, but we've certainly not had one on target. So yeah, defence rubbish, but the attack's not done anything anyway. So even if we hadn't made those 2 mistakes, it's still 0-0.
Yeah, it's very disappointing because I really thought after the last 2 performances they would have come out here and really put on a show, but they haven't. They've just, I mean, who's the manager of Huddersfield? Do you know?
Oh, I forget his name. German fellow.
Yeah, whatever his name is. I mean, he's really got one over on Mourinho here because Mourinho just looks stunned. He looks like that he's got no answer to it. And
well, he has got an answer, hasn't he? We saw his answer at half time. Shocking. Yeah,
but I mean, to us fans, that's not the answer to take Martial Matter off. But in defence of him, in defence of Jose, when you look at the bench, what else can he do? I can only sense that I think he's going to put it down to the injuries. I really do.
We're on a break here, but we're on a break there. But Huddersfield have 4 men back because they're not committing players forward. They are absolutely taking the mick out of us at the moment. Albert W makes an interesting point. He says, this is not the Manchester United I want to support. And I think what he means is the style of football, which is very interesting because Mourinho said after the Liverpool game, this is me, this is what I do. This is my style of play. And it's all right coming out with arrogant comments like that, Jose. And I love his arrogance. But it's all right coming out with those comments when you're winning. You know, if you're winning, we can moan about the style of play, but we're winning. When you start to lose and you're not playing the United way, that is when the problems start. And like I said, it's the start of a slippery slope, potentially, because he's had a horrific week. You know, he took us to Liverpool and never did anything. And he's brought us here today, and, you know, I know everyone's going to blame Lindelof, but the reality is, what have we done as an attacking force? Next to nothing.
Oh, no, that's totally right. As a team, as a whole, they've all been dire. But it's...
Well, Darian Jones made a contribution there. He says, it's a sure case for performance-related pay, because this is shocking, and I presume he means none of them deserve to get paid. I mean, the shining light so far, it's very difficult. I think Matic and Valencia, for me, outfield players have done well. And that's it.
Yeah, see, I would say Valencia. I mean, Ashley Young put in a couple of good balls in the first half. He's been okay second half, but nothing fantastic.
The trouble is, the truth that you will find is normally between two extremes. And I think when we were winning all those games at the start of the season, we start to think we're going to win the league. And now we're getting beaten by Huddersfield. We think we're terrible. I think the truth is somewhere between, which is what I was trying to say on transfer deadline day. When people were saying, oh, we've got enough and Mourinho's had enough money. And I was called a moaner because I said, we haven't got enough. He hasn't got what he needs. He's not been backed in the transfer market. The reality is this squad's not good enough. And Mourinho has overachieved with it. And it needs a lot more work than 6 players. And that's all he's had in the year and a bit that he's been here. And I think that's the truth of Manchester United. When you compare us to Manchester City, Pep basically walked into a team that was Premier League title winners. They'd won it the year before. He's then spent £300 million on it, bringing in to make them even stronger. Mourinho walked into a team that hadn't won the title in 4 years, was full of bad signings, bottlers, and people coming towards the end of their career. He spent £300 million like Pep, but I think he's only halfway there. And the big question that some people are now starting to ask, even if Mourinho is halfway there, is he really the right fit for United? I'm not saying that, I still think he is, but people are starting to think that. And that's the pressure he will face at United, because if he makes bad, odd decisions, that, you know, United fans are stuck in a bit of a consistent rut. We've had 3 managers, if you include Giggs, since Sir Alex Ferguson, and what's a 4th? You know, that's modern football for you, unfortunately. I don't agree with it. I think we've got to stick with Mourinho and let him sort it out, and he will do. But I'm not so sure that Mourinho always wins the title in the first 2 years is something that's going to stand true at the moment. But you never know. At lunchtime, Chelsea fans would have thought, we're going to lose to Watford, United will win, and we're going to be 10 points off second. In a couple of hours, it looks like there'll be 4 points off us, with us playing there in a couple of weeks. So,
well, I mean, if the result stays like this, it's going to put so much pressure on United for the Chelsea and the Spurs game.
We won't beat Spurs playing like this.
No,
I've
not like this.
I've watched a lot of Spurs this year, and they're even better. They're better away from home. So,
I mean, going in, I think we play Man City in December. Is that right?
Yeah, Arsenal as well.
Yeah. So in order to keep in touch up until the Man City game, we've got to get wins everywhere we go in the Premier League. And playing like this, it's not going to happen. So I hate to say it, but I can only see us falling further behind through October. I mean, City have got an easy fixture list, I think, off the top of my head, compared to us.
Yeah, they have, definitely. I mean, City are still only 1-0 up. I mean, I've got no interest in that, to be honest, because priorities with United. But clearly a manager has gone to to Manchester City, and I expected Sean Dyche. I sort of had an inkling he might get it right. You know, City are not this juggernaut. They can be stopped, but I don't see anybody. I hoped it was going to be United. I don't see anybody who's going to go with them. So City probably will run away with the title, not because they're head and shoulders above everybody else, but because they've got the best squad, and they've got a way of playing that they stick to. And I just look. I know a lot of people are saying it, and I know Marcus will say it as well. I sort of get your point. We miss Fellaini, but that is the problem. You know, does a title-winning side come out with statements like "we miss Fellaini"? I don't think it does. I think Fellaini is missed, but I think that's almost part of the problem, that we miss somebody like Fellaini. It's not like saying we miss Aguero or we miss Hazard. We miss Fellaini. There's a big difference, and I think that's why. You know, we need better players.
Well, I'm going to go back to Jose's very first interview at United. He did turn around and say he needed 3 summer transfer windows. He's only had 2 at the minute. We know for a fact he wasn't back this summer with the players that were brought in. He missed out on 1 or 2 for reasons that, you know, some would say are pretty obvious. Some would say they didn't know the reasons. So I think whatever, I would say, looking at now and the way we're playing now, I think going from 6th to 1st is a bit too much of a jump. I think little steps. So that's why I was quite confident that we'll challenge for it. We may be in the title race, but I don't think we would have won the title this season with this team. I think.
You know, the problem, Marcus, though, is that I agree that we probably do need 3 transfer windows because we haven't, you know, the squad isn't good. I think,
No.
You know, you win against teams like we've played at the start of the season and you think, oh, it is good enough. But actually, maybe the opposition we were playing, you know, West Ham, Everton, they've all been really poor. So maybe the opposition wasn't really that good, Swansea as well. But I also think that Mourinho might need 3 transfer windows, but he didn't even get the transfer window he wanted in the summer. You know, he only said yesterday in his press conference, I didn't get the 4 players I wanted, I only got 3. So when he's not even getting what he needs, you know, he's sort of got a hand. You know, I know Mourinho is going to get a lot of criticism if we don't win this game, and of course he should do. There's been some odd decisions, but in fairness to him, it's never that simple, is it? It's he didn't even get the players he wanted this summer because the club didn't get them for him, and maybe it was only 1 player, maybe it was only Perisic, but. You know, if he's not getting those players, and Pep is at City, as we know he is, then it's you know, he's always got to get out.
Do you know, I mean, I know you think the one player that he's talking about is Perisic, but I actually think the one player he was talking about was Griezmann.
Yeah, well, Griezmann was coming, wasn't he? We know that.
Yeah, and I think that's what he's talking about in the interviews where he's saying he's not got the players that he wanted. I think it was it was. Griezmann was nailed on to come. And yeah, it was a big loss. And yes, he stayed at Atletico for reasons that he thinks are moral and, you know, doing it out of loyalty. But I think that was the signing that the team and the club needed as a lift coming into this season. Perisic being a winger. Yes, we need a winger. We know that, but he's not. He hasn't got the same name. He hasn't got the weight behind the name that Griezmann has to lift the entire squad.
Yeah. Well, this game's just falling away.
It is. It's just gone down the pan, hasn't it? It really has.
I mean, what's your thoughts on his substitutions? I know I was stunned about it, and you know, people said, "Oh, give it a chance." It's looking like it's gone the way we sort of feared. It's just baffling, really baffling.
Yeah, the substitutions I don't agree with. Not at all. Taking off Martial, who's, you know, he has that moment of brilliance, that moment of magic, where he can get a goal out of nothing. And Mata, he has that quality to pick out a pass, unlike what Mkhitaryan's been doing for the last few games. So taking them 2 off was a complete baffling decision for me. It really was. Lingard would have been the first one for me to come off. And I think Man City are 2-0 up now.
Yeah, well, that's never going to be a surprise, is it?
I still can't remember a save that the Huddersfield goalie's had to make from us yet.
No.
Yeah, and we can say it till we're blue in the face. You can put that down to the number 10 not linking the forward play or the midfield. But I mean, if Lukaku hasn't got the passes, if he hasn't got the service, then what can he do? He's up there by himself.
No, I mean he's not had the chances in this game.
He's had nothing. No, he's had nothing. He's not. To me, this game and the Liverpool game, he looked out of sorts. He really did. I mean, the Liverpool game I thought was just a one-off, but then when we're watching this game, it's the same situation again. Something is seriously wrong where our players are just not feeding them. And he can't do nothing unless he's being fed the ball. We all know he's got a fantastic shot on him with his left foot, and we all know he can miss the odd sitter or two. But at least give him something to work with. He's our main striker.
I agree.
It's no good having. You imagine what if we'd have got Morata, how we'd be playing now? Because I watched Morata this afternoon, the Chelsea game, and he doesn't run the channels, and he seems to come central for everything. He seems to just get involved in the central play, and it would have been an absolute waste of time of him being in this Manchester United team.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean,
3-0 City.
So they're doing exactly what we expected. Oh dear. Well, I mean, for everybody watching at home, we're not coming back into this game, and I always say fan opinion's better than most. It's the most important voice in the world. But I don't like coming out at half time and saying we ain't going to get back in this game. But when you've watched enough football, and especially when you've watched enough Manchester United, it was inevitable. They were just odd substitutions, and I knew it wasn't going to work.
It is a shame. It is a shame. I mean, this is the third game on the run now for me.
The first game we've lost as well. He's always been able to hide behind. The Stoke game disappointed me. Liverpool disappointed me.
There we go. What a goal. Rashford. Oh, do we need that?
Yes. Didn't see it. It was too busy moaning.
Sorry. But there's still There's
13 minutes.
15 minutes. Yeah. It is doable. But it's a situation now where we have to press for it now. We've got to press for it. We've got to get something out of this game, and we've got to be wary of the counter attack now. Concentration more than anything, and hopefully the character of this team comes out and shows us what they've got.
Still time. Well, 13 minutes. We should be looking to get back into this now. We're going to have lots of the ball. Huddersfield are just going to sit back. There's no excuses as far as I'm concerned, Marcus. We should get back into it.
Well, now we've got the momentum now. I mean, there's going to be nerves throughout that Huddersfield team now. They're going to be thinking, oh God, is the comeback. Someone's just said there, the comeback is on. They're going to be nervous. They're going to be twitchy. They're just going to try and pump everything forward, play the long ball, and this will be to our advantage. Because as soon as they kick it up our end, it's coming straight back to them. I mean, we got the goal there. We're back in the game. But could it be a case of a little too late? And at the end of the day, it's not going to cover up the cracks. It's still a poor performance team-wise.
Oh, I guarantee we'll get a draw out of this. But as I said at the start of the game, a draw's not good enough. But we'll all be really happy with a draw, even though City have still won and the gap gets bigger. But we'll just be ecstatic and we'll go. The majority will go, well, at least we got a draw out of a game that we look like we're going to lose. And yeah, I sort of understand that a little bit. But having said that, there's still so much wrong with this performance that it should not be swept under the carpet of a draw. Minnie Mourner says we need someone with a backbone in the middle and drive the team forward. I know I'd already read that one, thanks. And yeah, lots of people in the comments. Well, I'll be surprised if we don't win it now, but I've been surprised quite a lot during this game. We just got to hope.
I mean, man like Tom there says anything is possible, and yeah, it is. But it is a really tall order for us. We should never have been in this situation.
Well, I don't think Huddersfield will score another goal, so it's United. I mean, I really hope that we can just. I just really hope we can just get a quick goal now. I mean, if we get out and win this, you know what? As I said to Ross at the start of the game, there'll be no moaning from me because it's 3 points. That's all we could have voted for. We could have voted for a lot more. You know what I mean? But if we come out with 3 points, we come out with 3 points, and the circumstances of it. Yeah, Lindelof's big mistake. Some weird substitutions by Mourinho, but ultimately, if you win it, don't you? And you survive another day. But I mean, the reality is that's our only shot on goal.
Yeah, and it's got in.
Yeah, which shows just shows you. If you don't, there's still 10 minutes. Let's hang in there. There's still 10 minutes for us to get into this game. And I just can't, as I said, I can't see Huddersfield showing that sort of commitment. They're going to get nervous now. They're not a Premier League club, really. It's their first season here. Let's get at them.
Right, you want to update the score, mate?
Yeah, I've got loads going on at the moment.
Yeah. Come on, United, keep pressing. Beck, anyone putting the fake scores in the chat, can you time them out, please?
Right. Let's get this score updated.
Still keeping the ball, still probing, looking for that opening.
I see. I purposely wasn't updating the score because I didn't do it for Huddersfield until they'd scored 2. But I was sort of hoping we were going to get a second. But
Arcadaz says 88th minute equaliser. Hope so. Jack Pace says this is the worst performance of United that he's ever seen.
I think we'll get a draw out of this. I think we'll get a late draw, and it'll, Mourinho will be like, "Oh yeah, what great morale and everything like that," and we'll all get, we'll all suddenly think a draw is a good result, and I don't think it is.
No, it's not. I mean, not when you look at the City result. No, it's not. Of course, it's not.
We're still unbeaten and all that, despite the fact we've just, dropped points to a mediocre side.
I mean, these are the games that.
Here we go. Cross coming in.
Yeah, Mourinho. We know how he likes to look at his calendar in the office and say, right, 3 points here, 3 points there. Take a draw there. This should have been the 3 points, without doubt.
Here we go. Oh no.
No.
We'll get a chance. We'll get a chance.
Come on, United. Hopefully when we get that one chance, we take it. Murray McCash says, I feel it's Louis Van Gaal or Moyes taking charge of this match. And we play shite.
5 minutes to go. Well, probably a bit longer than that.
Michael Clegg, another 3 points dropped.
I mean, we're absolutely all over them now.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, you know, you look at what Chelsea did against Watford. They got 2 goals late on. You know, it's been such a weird game. But it's been very much a dress rehearsal for whether we are title contenders, really. You know, you go 2-0 down, can you get back in and get a result? Last 10 minutes, it's basically attack against defence. Can you get that goal? I'm with you, Jake LKO. I think it's going to end up 2-2. Wishful thinking, maybe. What about you, Marcus? We only need one chance. We've had one chance and scored, so if we get another one, we'll score. I've got to believe. I mean, I'll be absolutely disgusted if we don't create a chance in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, you got to believe that we will get the one chance.
Here we go. Oh, why didn't he put a cross in? It's on your bloody strong right foot. You can't refuse it.
I don't think we'll get a draw out of this now, mate. I hate to be the one that put a downer, but I just think it's going to finish 2-1. We've left it a little bit too late for me. And the balls that are going in the box, they're just overhit balls, hopeful. Probably the worst mistake of the game was taking Martial off for me.
Yeah. Oh dear. Still time. Still stay positive.
Maliki says win, lose or draw. We are just a shambles. Carl Evans says Mourinho looks devastated.
Well, he's only got himself to blame.
Yeah. Rachel K never surrender till the last second. I just don't think with the one shot we had, and you know, obviously on target, and it goes in. It's depressing when you look at our attacking talent and what we've got.
Yeah,
that's
not enough,
really
it's
bad.
Not enough.
No,
not against a team like this. They shouldn't be outscoring you. But again, I suppose it's one thing to consider when I'm doing the preview next week for Spurs. You know, I said it about Liverpool. You know, there's no way we're going to go to Anfield and not score against their defence when we're scoring so many and their defence is so bad. Yeah. And I said it about this as well. Well, they've only scored 1 goal in 7. There's no way that, you know, I didn't say we wouldn't concede, but I never would have said we'd concede 2. And that we'd have 1 shot on goal. So you just never know, do you? But, you know, these things should not be happening. You know, football is pretty much a game that you can sort of look on and go, they're struggling to score, we shouldn't be conceding against them, but... The game's not done yet. Still a minute or so left.
I mean, we shouldn't be conceding 1 goal against Huddersfield, let alone 2.
Oh dear, it's chucking it down with rain there.
Yeah.
So you never know, there might be a little bit of a slip at the end.
Could be.
We might not get. I suppose the bad thing is we might not get many fan cams, which would be a shame because I'll be very interested to see what fans at the ground have got to say. Remember, we'll be getting the fan cams up from about 6:30 tonight. My match reaction, you won't have to wait that long. It'll be straight after this. I've taken a few notes. I've sort of gone into stunned mode at the moment, Marcus. To be honest, I think that anger as was 4 minutes. 4 minutes.
Well, there's still time then. That's enough.
I'm just going to put my light on.
Arkadaz says, seems like game over. Sal, all out attack. That's what it should be now. Just leave one at the back and go for it. Just absolutely go for it.
Huddersfield have got a bloody corner. Look, you know what though? I mean, I'm old enough to remember that. I remember us getting beaten at Burnley when they'd just been promoted under Sir Alex Ferguson. So to lose to a newly promoted team, I know we're all gonna sort of go mad about it. And I understand that, but it's not really that for me. It's the things around the result, because at the Premier League, anybody can beat anybody. Of course they can. I mean, Lindelof's just. Oh, what are we doing? It goes from bad to worse for Lindelof, really.
It is, yeah.
It's what goes on around it that's doing my head in, to be honest.
Do you know what I mean? I know it's the style, the manner of how we've played these last few games that is really, really bothering me. Start of the season we blitzed teams, we were playing well. Now all of a sudden, Liverpool, it was diabolical. Benfica game, I think the result papered over the performance, and today it's been exactly the same, if not worse, purely because of the team that we're playing.
Yeah, I mean, the worst thing is it's the fact that it's one shot on goal in 90 minutes, and we've scored that goal, but maybe again that's the false dawn of it, isn't it? It's like
it is, yeah. Do you know what, Mark? You said earlier in the second half about missing Fellaini, and Fellaini's like a good player in the Premier League, maybe not a top 5, top 6 player. About Lindelof, was there anything? Did he have any background about being an absolutely fantastic centre back?
You what? Was
there any talk of Lindelof before he come to United being an absolutely fantastic centre back?
No. I mean, no? He's decent, and I still think he can turn it around. But he was not, I suppose, a bit like an Eric Bailly signing, really. Right. The best clubs in Europe weren't after him. Let's just say that. But
bit of an unknown then, yeah.
Yeah. Man of the match, Marcus. I mean, we might see him in a minute because he might get this late goal. But
well, I mean, for me, I'd probably have to say Valencia or Matic. I think
we might score here. Oh, no.
No, I don't think we will. How long have you got left, Mark, on yours?
Oh, Smalling had a chance.
Bloody
hell.
That's it. I think that's the chance.
Not quite. No, their keeper just dropped it as well.
Yeah, I think that was a chance, mate, all over.
Well, it will be now. Oh, no, not quite. That will be it. I don't know why Herrera's gone back to the keeper, because this will be 4 minutes. That's it. 2-1 to Huddersfield. Okay. Well, it's going to hit the fan. It's going to hit the fan. Thanks for coming on, Marcus.
No worries, mate. Pleasure as always. Shame about the result, but yeah.
I'll speak to you in a bit.
Okay, mate. See you later.
Ta-da. Okay, I've been keeping my notes. I'm going to do my match reaction. It's Manchester United have lost 2-1. The link is in the video description. I'm going to be over there on 60 seconds. I've got loads of notes. I've got loads of things I want to say. I'm obviously not going to do it on this stream. Link in the video description, match reaction, or go through the homepage. It's already set up, and I'll see you there in 60 seconds. It's going off like a bottle of pop, needless to say. I'll see you there in 60 seconds. I want your thoughts. Link in the video description. We'll take you to that video. The live comments is open, or go through the homepage. I'll see you in a minute.